Hail, hail, and welcome to the HomeBhoys Live podcast. It is Thursday, the 1st of August. I'm, of course, Joe McKenna. We are back. This week, I'm joined by a skeleton crew because it's summer. Joined by Jason Higgins out there on Wisha.
Hail, hail.
Hail, hail, brother. And joined by Brubby Boy Liam Power.
How you doing? You all right?
All good, mate. All good. A few technical issues to start with, but we're all good to go now. Let me just double check that everything is good to go on our live social media feeds and all that stuff. So, how do I even fucking look at this? Well, people will let us know, I suppose, won't they? Right. Everything seems to be good to go. And we are flying. There's no real list tonight, but there's plenty to be talking about. There's no Scott McCoy, there's no Marty, there's no Harper. It's just the three of us. And I suppose a few things have happened just before we come on the show. As Bernardo has signed a permanent 5-year contract. But to start the show, we're obviously going to talk about preseason, but would be the best place to start it, Jabo, would be to get your travel diary for your trip to Chicago and your trip to Notre Dame then to see the mighty Celtic play. Chelsea.
No one to talk about the bold Celtic first.
We could do that in a minute. I think we kind of want to look back and just get your thoughts of the trip. Because it looked brilliant. I was getting photographs sent from all kinds of people, like from all around the states. The lads I used to hang out with in Florida and stuff, and the likes of John Joe and Philly, and just loads of boys were traveling.
I met John Joe.
You meet him? He's great.
Aye.
John Joe.
Aye.
And, so it looked like a proper trip. And the last time I remember doing something like that there in America was when the Tampa Bay trip, when I used to live down in Fort Lauderdale. We did a bus up to Tampa. Yep. And it's just great crack. There's something very special about doing it over there a bit, you know what I mean? Or the long road journeys and the fucking, you know what I mean? And it's a bit different. So anyway, give us your rundown. I mean, I know this was all in all part of lovely Linda's 50th birthday present. And as she's Celtic daft, what better way could she?
She's still admitting that was her worst day. she's no good back in that. But no, we did an absolute ball, and it was maybe my best ever Celtic trip. Aye, it was that good. You're talking to Seamus on the way back. He was in the same flight as him and Tommy and Peter. They'd done the three of them. And he's been to every Celtic game abroad in Europe and all the pre-season tours and everything. And he says that's probably my best ever trip following Celtic. It was just amazing, so good. Treat it brilliantly, you know. And the people of Chicago, and it was just amazing. I mean, I was blown away by the amount of people for here that flew over for it, you know, just for that game. It was wild. So we got to Chicago on the Wednesday. We flew for Dublin. I mean, on our flight alone, there was a couple of families. There was 4 young lads for Dublin, or for Ireland anyway. And then there was me, Linda, Jerry, Trifle, and Trifle's cousin Stephen. So on our flight, there was at least that's that we knew anyway, maybe 20 odd that was flying over for it. And there was 3 flights went to Chicago that day for Dublin. So there'd been some coming over the following day as well. Every time you're walking about Chicago, you're just turning a corner, bumping into Celtic supporters. It's fucking wild. Never seen one Chelsea fan, none. And it was just great. And we had an absolute ball. So obviously we were there for Linda's 50th. So me and Linda done our own hang a load. Jerry came about with us. He doesn't drink anymore. So Jerry was doing some stuff with us. Never seen midnight one night. No, with the time difference in that. In our beds for fucking 11:30 every night. Up at 5 in the morning, out doing stuff. Weather was glorious. Just what a city as well. Chicago, it blew me away. Proper nice, spotless, you know. And funny story, first night I nearly get dipped. Paul the Tim to the fucking rescue. Paul had texted us where he is, and I told him the bar we were in. And I've walked out, and our apartment was like 2 blocks away. So I was walking towards it, and Paul was walking towards me. And this guy obviously didn't know Paul and the squad were with me. And he's tried to get into my back pocket, and Paul shouted, he says, that guy's tried to fucking rob you. I just grabbed the boy. Hey, buddy, I tried. There was nothing there, man, just in my back pocket. Obviously, I fucking didn't have any money in that. But that was a close shave. That was the only time anything kind of half dodgy kind of happened. In Chicago itself, I don't think I've seen two cops walking about at all in the full 4 days. Loads in cars, never seen any walking about. You're a bit like, is it too dangerous for them?
You do hear the stories about Chicago, don't you? Being a fucking like Chirac and all that stuff.
I never seen any of that. We actually went to see the White Sox on the Friday night, and Jerry O'Neill knew his fucking White Sox daft. He went to another game on the Sunday when we left because he was in a later flight. He's fucking watching them on the telly. They're on a 15-game losing streak. The game we went to, they were 11-game losing streak. We were like, this will be the night they'll break it. So we're in, and there was 2 rows of us all with the hoops on, tricolours. So they're putting us on the telly and that, and all the crowd's waving at us. So, and then Paul the Tim, he went to the toilet when all the cameras were on us. He was raging. But first inning, Seattle Mariners scored 8 runs. Fucking 4 home runs.
The first inning?
First inning. They hooked the pitch in the first inning. But so we get the train down to South Chicago where the White Sox play, and arranged with Paul, Charlie and Joe, 2 boys that were travelling with Paul. We arranged to meet them in the Cork and Kerry pub. It's maybe about 4 blocks away from the stadium. And on that TripAdvisor and that, it's saying you need to watch about there and that. Fucking looked sound. And see one thing about Chicago I noticed as well. No ID checks anywhere. See the amount of kids blootered at the baseball that were all walking about with beers. It's just like, and I've never seen MD asking MD in pubs for ID or anything. See, walking from the pub to the stadium, there must have been 200 kids between the ages of about 16 and 19, all with cargoes and Chicago White Sox gear would get into the game. And nobody's even born their arse with them.
Wow.
And all doing the tailgating and all that. It was brilliant. Stadium was class. And so it was on the Thursday night, we went out for a meal, and then we went to that Rebel night, the night on in one of the bars. I was jumping. Singer was excellent. And then this boy for Tyrone that lives in the Cayman Islands, he was on our bus to the game. He got the guitar a couple of times and done a couple of numbers. Brilliant. And it was just class. And then the day of the game, we all met. This was a fucking balls up. Because the pub we met in was North Chicago, near where the Cubs play, AJ Hudson's, and there was 5 buses left for there. Fucking, it was terrible because it was 3/4 an hour on the bus, and we hadn't even went past the White Sox Stadium. So we only got to South Bend maybe about an hour and a half before the game.
How long's the journey, Jay? How long's the journey from there to South Bend?
See if you'd left for South Chicago, it would have been less than 2 hours easy.
That's all right.
It was maybe about 2.5 it took us. And it's an hour time difference. You know, we didn't change our clocks, but it's an hour forward when you went there. So we left at 11 and kind of didn't get there at 1:30. But that would have been leaving like at 12 really, you know, their time. Mm-hmm. So they're in the bus. I took a bottle of Bucky Airways and I brung it out. I'm not drinking it, but I took it out of the bag and all the mob up the back and like, fucking, it was like a message for God. It was scudded in about 2 seconds. And so we get to the stadium. What a campus that is, where the stadium is. Absolutely brilliant. Inside the stadium is a bit of a ramshackle, to be honest with you. The concourse and all that's beautiful. But inside the stadium, it's very dated, you know. And there's no cover. And it must have been fucking 90 to 100 degrees. It was boiling. And gets up to the stadium, meets Big Tommy, meets a ton of folk. Loads for Glasgow and that made their way over. And it was just absolute class. Celtic fans everywhere. And like every Celtic fan was a proper Celtic. There's guys that came from different areas of America. There'd have been a few Americans splattered in there, but the vast majority would have been Scottish or Irish that were living in America or first generation, you know, proper Celtic fans. And gets into the stadium and we had, must have been 50-50, and the crowd would have been, I don't know, maybe 30,000, 30 to 40,000. It was about half full. It holds about 80. And didn't meet one Chelsea fan with an English accent. Every one of them were Yanks. Even after the game, we got a Chelsea fan to take his top off and chuck it in a bush, says he's a Celtic fan now. You know, they go for like the winner. They were looking at us in a party. The place was absolutely bouncing. You could tell half of them were fucking, I'm a Celtic fan now.
But as I say on the TV, you could take like it when it panned to their section, it was just all they all had the same flag, every single one of them. So obviously somebody had been in and put them on the seats or something. You know what I mean? It wasn't like just random fans and stuff. It didn't represent them very well at all.
Aye, and our end was just bedlam, but it was boiling. But it was the first time ever in the history of Notre Dame Stadium they'd sold alcohol in the stadium.
Really?
Aye, because it's a college campus, so they don't sell drink at the game.
Right, fuck.
So they were selling.
College football, you can't get a beer then?
No in college campuses. No, you can drink outside it, but no in the stadium. But obviously for us, because it was a soccer match. But it was absolute class. Big shout out to Big Tommy sorting all the tickets and that. Fucking big legend. Met him, his cousin Neil, his wife, his mum, his kids. Just Tommy's sister was there as well. Just with an absolute ball. Met a lassie, Marie, that I used to work with in Motorola. She moved to America 20 odd years ago. She came right up to us. I used to work with you. But it was just absolutely brilliant. And obviously the way Celtic played, man, fucking hell. I watched the Man City game in the hotel in Dublin like the night before it, just on my phone. And we played well there. No, we were 3-1 up, then they brought it to 3 each, and you're like that. And then we fucking turned it up a notch again. But against Chelsea, we absolutely battered them. We destroyed them. And it was an absolute pleasure to be there. You know, just you see Celtic against teams like that, the pre-season tours in America, I think we've been roundly gubbed most of the time.
Yeah,
and I couldn't believe it's 12 or 13 years since Celtic did a tour of America. And they must be, you know, obviously next year it'll be Champions League qualifiers, so that'll maybe put a kibosh on it. I don't know if you could do it kind of earlier, but worked out. They must have raised the profile of Celtic to some tune, because everybody was just falling in love with them. You know, obviously the way they were playing as well, but it was amazing. It was hard to put any words how good it was. And then after the game, everybody's chanting, even before the game in the concourses. Then up to the bus park, try to find your bus. I'm like, where's the Boston bus? I don't know. It's up there somewhere. And you're like, fucking hell, it's that fucking away game in Scotland. Do you know what I mean? And then back on the bus and back to Chicago. And me and Linda get dropped off in the town because nobody went back up north, because nobody was really staying up there.
Yeah.
We went in and get shifted to have a night out. That's a proper night out me and her were going to have. So we gets ready, and then we're in this Boozer O'Leary's. I could tell you a million stories. And we'd been in it before. We loved it. So we'll go back round there. So we goes in, I guess a drink, and goes and sits outside because it's boiling, order some food, and I fucking just fell asleep, sat in the chair. Linda's like, we need to get back to the room. That was us in a 4:12 again. So it just takes it out. You see when you're up for 5 every morning, you know. And we were out and about, like doing all the tourist stuff. We were actually queuing up, waiting for shops to open. We'd been out walking about for like 4 hours, doing the river walk, down seeing the Bean, the Picasso monument and all that. Shops hadn't even been opened yet. We'd done a load of the tourist stuff. But it was absolute class, you know. And see, Jerry doesn't drink, so see if you're no drinking, you could do it cheap, you know. But once you're on the drink over there, it's fucking extortionate, man. It's like 2 drinks are $30, you know, and they're looking at tap it.
Jesus Christ!
And the Sunday before we left into a sports bar and watched boy put Armagh on for us, watched Armagh winning the All Ireland. That was class as well. And so it was absolutely brilliant. The flights were class for Dublin and back to normal on Monday. But what a trip! It was absolutely superb. Couldn't really put it any words, you know. That kind of story didn't do it justice, you know. And I booked a class apartment for me and Linda as well. That was fucking ideal. 50 floors up, ears popping, that going to the apartment, a big balcony overlooking Chicago. It was fucking heaven.
Deadly.
It was just absolutely brilliant. And just the folk we met and the hospitality, the locals, you know, they're always wanting to know what you were there for, and you were telling them you were there for a football game, and they're fucking amazed, and they're like, no, you guys, I've seen the green white, you're all here for the same thing. I was like, yeah. And you all flew over, and it's just a friend game. Oh, fucking hell. But That was absolutely brilliant, mate. Brilliant.
Sounds class, man. Sounds class. I mean, and again, to go back to the football was amazing. I mean, the thing that stood out to me was the speed and efficiency with which we moved the ball. Oh, Jason's just dropped off there. I think we've lost him.
Me?
No, we've lost Jason.
No, is he gone?
He's gone. He's gone. I can still see him on the Skype here, but I can't. No, he's back. There he is. There. Oh, a second. Out of the stage. Turn their camera off.
I don't see him on the thing.
I can see. Oh, for fuck's sake! What's he done there? All right, but I go back. Come back on a second. But I need to go back to the. Or he's there. You're back, Jebo. Yeah.
Aye, there's nobody on the chat where the last time it was mobbed. Be sure this is live.
Scott's on there.
I can't see anybody. I'm looking at. Sorry.
Aye, just to see it there. It's not as mob as it was the last time. But I mean, then again, people were complaining about this kind of draining the batteries and stuff. So there's not a lot we can do about it. Like. But
sorry,
no, just I mean the football, like the football that was played, it was just fucking. It was superb. Like it was really, and it wasn't like you were looking at Chelsea going like, that's they put out a weekend side. Fair enough. It wasn't a fucking full strength team, but with the quality they have, we had no right playing football like that against them. Right?
I would destroy them.
I was fantastic. Like, and you're kind of looking at it going like, this is really, really strong. Now, part of you is looking at it going like, O'Reilly's a big part of this, and fucking that's up in the air, right? But even for the rest of it, like the rest of the team that played, I was going, this is fucking looking really good. Even like James, I was watching James Forrest going like, he looks fucking brand new as well. Everybody just looks fucking completely on point. This is
brilliant.
It was just fantastic, and it wasn't. I think like parts of last season, I was a wee bit pissed off at some of the fucking lax passing. I mean, some of the way we moved it, some at times we were a bit sluggish. But see, there against Man City and against Chelsea, it was the exact opposite. I mean, and it was that sort of thing with Kyogo. Remember, we were saying last season like Kyogo didn't really have the same impact because maybe he wasn't being played the same way. But that appears to have to be coming good now because he was dropping back a good bit. I mean, if you think about, I think it was the second goal against Man City. He'd been coming back a lot to get the ball and then moving forward. So like that sort of process in the midfield and with the wingers and with him to move forward, have him drop deep and then also go forward seems to be really, really working out well. Kuhn as well. Boy looks fucking player now. I mean,
did he get injured at the Man City game?
Yeah, he just had a knock. He was carrying a knock. That's why he went off. So Brendan Rodgers said it's just precautionary, but hopefully we'll see Sunday. But hopefully he's fine, and Mieda as well. He had a clash of knees during the game.
Aye, because he looked excellent.
Yeah.
See the thing that's pretty evident, but see Matt O'Reilly, fucking Jesus Christ, how good is he?
Yeah,
and it's one of the ones like if you kept him, it's equivalent to too good because we're never signing MD as good as him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Aye. It's at the stage like the board should be offering him £1 million or something like that. Stick that in your back pocket and just stay for a year. You know, but I still think he'll go. You know, I still think somebody will come in with a massive bid for him. I think they'd be stupid if they don't, because some of the dross that's getting signed for 30 and 40 million, and he's just, that boy is class.
But I thought that was the message that Rodgers basically put out about him was like, you know, they need to bid for the value of the player, not for the value of the league. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was a good time, wasn't it?
You're hearing like, is Atalanta coming in with what 15, be 17 million? Get that out of here, the fuck. I mean, if you're not talking 20 and up, at least to begin with, you're not really talking.
There's no benefit to us selling him for that price, is there? I mean, you know,
exactly.
A cash rich, unless he's really insinuating that he wants to go, and he's kind of, which he doesn't seem to be that way whatsoever. He seems very relaxed behind the scenes. I think Atalanta would be a great move for him, like if he has to go personally, rather than some mid-table English team. But everyone seems pretty calm about it on our side just now in terms of what's going to happen.
He's a different character model, really, right? Because like you said, he seems very, very calm about it behind the scenes. Did you see where he went for his summer holiday?
No.
He went to a yoga and meditation retreat in India.
Did he?
I think some boy bumped into him somewhere in fucking India. I only heard about this. I was actually heard it the other day, and I was like, "That's." It would kind of speak to that very sort of calm Zen-like personality that he has. You know what I mean? So part of me's kind of going like, I'm not really too worried about it. If big money comes in, yes, 100% he's going. That's business, baby. But I think he's also quite content to go, well, if it happens, it happens. We've got the Champions League coming up. January's not a kick in the balls away. I mean, that's that fucking stress about it. So I mean, and if you can hang on to him at least till January, and I know we're all kind of thinking that he's going to go anyway, regardless of what we think. But I mean, imagine getting the Champions League with him, the way things look now.
The thing is, Joe, like you said, unless it's a club that he's really interested in, he's got 8 games guaranteed now in the Champions League between this transfer window and the next transfer window. You know, so I mean that's 8 different teams are going to play. That's a lot of exposure for him. And the thing is, and you can apply this to the wider context of the pre-season. We're playing some brilliant football just now, and I know it's pre-season, right? So take it with a pinch of salt. But you know, look at the difference between the start of last season and the start of this season with this team. The fluidity that's there, the way they're playing. Kyogo, don't know what happened to him at the start of last year. He looks absolutely on fire this year, but right from the very first game, right up until now. Hatate back fit again and raring to go. You know, Joe Hart, who we all adored. In my opinion, we've got a better all-round goalkeeper now in the team.
How good did he look, by the way?
He looked fucking brilliant.
Honestly, fantastic. And you know, Johnson to come back, who's starred at the Copa America. Carter Vickers is fit. You know, McGregor's back fit again. Kuhn onto a game, and Maeda on fire as well. I know. You know, if you spend your time on the huddle board, which I think you two don't, and you read some of the transfer stuff, it's like a fucking parallel universe over there, man. But I'm massively buzzing about this season and really optimistic about what we can do. We can talk about the transfers later on, you know, but it feels like this team has come on 10 or 15% since the start to the middle of last season, given the way we ended the season.
And that's kind of what pisses me off a bit, Liam, because like you say, the parallel universe of the huddle board and as well on Twitter as well, as people are like, we're not going to be any stronger. We're standing still. But I'm like going like, well, I don't think we're standing still is not what we're doing, right? But like you said, that team looks 10 to 50% better than what it was at the end of last season, and that's not just because, you know, extra players have come in. It's just a familiarity. It's you know, a comfort now. I mean, they've won things, they're doing things.
The point that I always make as well is a manager's second season, and the players are all going to be much better under Rodgers this season than they were last season. And as you say, the key injuries that we had last season, you know, I think we're far stronger. I still want a couple of quality signings, you know, and I'm hopeful we'll get them. We've still got a month left of the window. And I'm pretty sure Rodgers will be trying everything to get a couple of quality signings in, but they need to be quality. We're no want these fucking prospects in again, you know, or just like £1 million guys for Australia and stuff like that. You know, you need. But hopefully, if O'Reilly does go, they've already got a couple of central midfielders lined up. You know.
Yeah. That's it. I mean, I think the squad's still not strong as we want it to be, because we will get those injuries again. You know, who that will be to, we'll have to wait and see. But if you start to peel 3 or 4 players off that squad, then it's not as, you know, it's certainly not as good for Champions League football. Domestically, it's still okay, but so that's where we need to really bring in 2, 3 or 4 first team players or challengers, and then uplift the squad a little bit overall.
Aye. 2-0 St Mirren there, I seen. And
just seen that, aye.
Kilmarnock are 1-0 down, and it's in injury time. They've had 4 corners, that team's had none, but they've not had any shots on target. I'd like to see both of them going fucking through. I'd love a Kilmarnock goal near the end to take it the extra time. But it doesn't look likely now.
But the pre-season games, I just think Celtic have been on a really good trajectory right from the start, really. I mean, the air game you can write off. I was there for the first part of that, but that was just exactly what you expect first game of the season. Stephen Welsh captain, Kobayashi, left back, Scott Bain in goals, Navarocki going off after 10 minutes, never to be seen again. So, you can just discount those sort of games and the Queen's Park game to a degree as well. But, the games in America, they've been... The DC United game, the pitch was fucking atrocious.
Oh, terrible, wasn't it?
Oh, so bad.
They were painted to look like grass.
It was a really weird surface. But again, we were playing really good football in that game as well, and looking the part. And we've scored 4 goals in every game, and see the amount of chances we've missed as well. To score loads more. I mean, Mikey Johnson's come on most games and could have had a hat-trick in almost every game. So it's been really, really impressive. And the team, for me, like I said, the team's looking just much, much stronger, from where it was last year, strong into the season. And they look like they've really taken the full benefit of pre-season, as you'd expect to see, in terms of they look fit, they look fast, they look sharp, and they look cohesive, don't they? They just look like they really know what each other's doing. The only downside is we're not going to face teams playing like that when we start the domestic season. We look like we talked a bit last year about European football, and I said I'd like to see Maeda and Kyogo up front together in some of the away games and give us that counter-attacking type football, and that's what find a different way to play in these domestic games as we come up against the packed defences again. So whether it'll be as effective, but looking super impressive in those games.
RL77 in the chat says 1 striker and 1 left back at the moment. Fucking mental.
Oh, we definitely need cover. We definitely need players in without a doubt.
Well, this brings you on to the Adameda stories. I mean, has he been fined by Norwich for not turning up?
Well, according to certain reports, it could be in place for Sunday.
I think that's been dispelled.
Has it?
Yeah, from someone close to Norwich. I mean, Joe, go back to the comment. No one's saying everything's perfect here, right? We know we've got players to buy still, and and I was more scathing than anybody about the transfer window in the summer last year. But you've got to, you can look at it 2 ways. You can say the fact that it's been so slow and we're waiting means the manager's waiting for specific players that he wants of a specific quality, and he's willing to wait till the end of the transfer window. And why wouldn't you? When we're qualified for the Champions League, and we've got more than enough to do what we need to do domestically. But on the flip side of that, there's no faith. There's no record with this board in terms of what we've seen before. So we've done this dance many, many times before. So you can understand why people are, a bit unsure about what they're seeing and what's going to happen. But we just got to trust it for the next few weeks and see what we end up with.
But as usual, nobody's going to be happy. So just fucking get on with it.
I'm not happy with the transfer activity myself, but I'm a realist. I think surely there's a month to go, and I'm confident we'll get,
You'd like to think so, but I mean, it's this period of the year that most people hate, because you go online, you just watch people fucking moan, and stories are made up, and people are fucking moaning and moaning and moaning. And again, like you said, there's still a month left, and I mean, I don't know why everybody seems to think things should get done in a hurry. That's not how the game's played, really.
Well, I think, Joe, in fairness, right? So if you're a big club, which we are, right? You don't transfer windows 1 month in January and 3 months in the summer, right? People don't just start working at the start of the transfer window. So you should be skating all year, planning your targets, blah blah blah, right? So nothing should stop you buying who you want to buy as soon as they become available. And as Brendan Rodgers said, we could have bought 10 players on the day one of the transfer window, right? But we're not going to get, given where we are in the food chain just now, and if we are going for the sorts of targets that he's talking about, if you're a player in that category, and you think you might have interest from bigger leagues or big clubs in other leagues, then there's nothing to. Why wouldn't these players just sit and wait and see what their options are? Now you can say, well, if they don't want to commit to us straight away, fuck them. But we haven't got that luxury just now in terms of that type of target a player. So I think we are in that kind of cat and mouse game really in terms of some of the better players you want to try and get. Listen, if we come out at the end of this month and we've maybe brought Eder in and maybe one other player, whatever, then you think, well, what the fuck that apart from Schmeichel, who's although he's better than Hart, he's a similar age. And we've got this prospect underneath him. But then it's going to look like a really poor window. But we're just going to have to give it a bit of time, I think, to see what results in there. I said on the last podcast, since Brendan Rodgers, we've still not made one ambitious signing yet. We're in our third transfer window. We've not made one statement signing or one ambitious signing yet.
I know.
So maybe this is a time we're going to see one. We'll see. But what I would say is, we've been much slower in the last two transfer windows. But Kuhn looks like he's potentially going to be a player now. Eder was a big success despite not being a popular signing. Schmeichel looks the part for us. So maybe taking our time and being a bit slower will be a benefit to us.
Let me ask you, what do you consider ambitious?
More sort of, the Carter Vicker type players, not buying players that are prospects and that, are much more of a gamble. Go and sign someone, maybe stretch our salary bands and pay a bit more money for somebody, in different ways, which you can do that. But we've had this identikit type of a player that we've been buying, this prospect type thing. Well, we've talked about this many times before. There's maybe a striker that's coming to the end of his career that might want 40, 50 grand a week, but he's got a proven pedigree. Go out and play that for someone and you're going to get nothing back on, just to get you through the next year, the next 2 years, or, a player that's maybe a more high profile that struggled for a year or two. Again, just go and show a bit of ambition out there, really, and just something above what we think we can pay. Stick to a model because it works for us, but there needs to be a bit more of a mix and more of a balance in there.
Yeah, I suppose we can move on to Paulo Bernardo, saying today for 5-year deal. Let's watch his interview there before we come on the show. Again, in that parallel universe online, people are going this is just standing still. I'm like, well, it's fucking not. He's a permanent fucking 5-year signing now. I mean, yes, he's been there, but he's proved. I mean, we were all very skeptical from the beginning, but he proved his worth throughout the season, 100%. Now, is he the kind of guy, do you think, that can, step into O'Reilly's role and fill that role should O'Reilly leave?
Bernardo?
I don't really know if he's that.
He's definitely not as good as O'Reilly. He couldn't time. He's kind of different. He's similar-ish type player, but different. I don't think there's any player that's like O'Reilly. O'Reilly's kind of one-off. He just glides about the park. His goal scoring lately as well is fucking unbelievable. He's the full package. So he's a top player. If we lose him, we're not replacing him like for like, and there's no chance because we're not going to be spending fucking 20-25 million. Because if we sell him, it's 20-25 million. If you're going to buy an Eco, you would think you'd be paying 20-25 million, and that's just not going to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's as good as we can get. So if we can keep him for another year, one an absolute watch.
I do agree with that. I fucking it'll be a tense year. You just expect them to leave at every given opportunity. We're kind of resigned to it now without knowing anything.
I think Bernardo's a different player, Joe. And I think he's more of a runner than O'Reilly's like a craftsman, really. Just glides about, like Jason said, and he's a passer, he's a shooter, a dribbler. He can do all sorts, really. I think Bernardo's more of a, not like Stuart Armstrong type, but that sort of thing. I think it's his running and he's getting into the right areas, which is his strength, really. But I think what's diluted his signing for a lot of people is we've had him in the building for a full season. We've got a fee agreed for him. We must know what his personal, what he was looking for money-wise, and we've taken fucking forever to get this deal over the line. It's over 2 months to get him signed from the end of last season. So, and I'm sure there's reasons behind the scenes as to why that is, but that's kind of probably just took the gloss off it for a lot of people, and the fact he was there last season. But we had the same position with Jota and Carter Vickers, and we were all over the moon to get them in. So let's hope we get a similar impact with him.
Yeah. So, are we going to look ahead then to the weekend? I'm assuming you're both going to be there. It's going to be a big day out. Why is it 4 o'clock on a Sunday?
TV, I suppose.
Yeah, it's Sunday because we're playing Kilmarnock, who are in Europe tonight.
Ah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Who just got put out, did they?
And I think what they said last year, Joe, because the English League hasn't started, they're actually Sky are trying to sell it to us as this is the premium slot on a Sunday, the 4:30 slot.
Ah,
yeah.
So we are Super Sunday.
We are Super Sunday, yeah. So whether that's true or not, I don't know, but it's not ideal for people, families, or been over here, people travelling from Ireland and whatever. But I'm pretty sure we were a similar time last year, were we?
Was it? I don't recall. It just always seems like an odd time to have it on a Sunday. What's your plans then?
Our next, I think Liam says it's mid-September before we play a Saturday home game at 3 o'clock.
Hearts, yeah. Hearts is the first one.
Oh yeah, there's a League Cup game though at Celtic Park against Hibs, isn't there?
It's a Sunday.
It's on the...
That's a pisser as well because that Premier, whatever it is, that cup that we're playing, the Premier Sports do, it's a pain in the fucking hole because we're always on live on it, which means we're never going to play a Saturday game on that either. I can't imagine we get much money off that from the coverage that we get there. So it's a pain in the fucking arse, that one is.
A lot of it, aye, but it's fucking usual. Fans, they don't give a fuck. Match attending supporters, it's all geared up for TV. They just do not give a shit.
Well, at least we have a stadium to go to.
Aye, well, that's that.
I mean, it could be worse. Could have to go to Hampden.
They're fucking. You wouldn't know what's going on with that fucking shithole. Do you know what I mean?
It's brilliant to watch. So, I love the. I don't know what you call your man that does the fucking Rangers blogs. The way Tom Selleck is fucking reposts all their stuff. It was their trip down to Birmingham, and it was fucking amazing to watch because you can just. I suppose what you can see now is more than a decade's level, a decade stored up of reality, landing on a number of them. Now, when they're suddenly going, "Fuck, this might be fucked," and it's phenomenal to watch. It is. It's pure Schadenfreude. You know, watching them come to the terms that this is all completely fucked. Right. So, what are we thinking for a team in against Kilmarnock the weekend?
Well, have we got everybody available? Carter Vickers, Alistair Johnson back? I'm not sure.
Alistair Johnson is back. He was on an interview today. I've seen that. I don't know if he's back. He is back, right?
He won't play. I don't think he'll be start of his training with us. I don't see him playing. I think Schmeichel, Ralston, Carter Vickers, Scales, Taylor. Pretty much picks itself, I think.
Yeah.
Hatate, O'Reilly, and McGregor. Again, picks itself. And then just whether the two wingers are fit, I guess, or not. Kyogo is the only striker anyway, so he's going to play.
Either Forrest or Kuhn.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I hope Pedro and Kuhn are fit to play, given how well they played the last game.
Aye, strong starting 11, but then you look at the bench and there's very limited now, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Need to get a bit of quality in there. Need a centre half. Badly, I think. I thought Scales struggled quite a bit at the start of that game, that Chelsea game. He got better as it went on, but he looked quite out of sorts at the start of it. So we definitely need another strong centre half in there. Taylor needs some competition as well. He looked really good, I thought, with the games that he played in.
Did you think he was coming a bit more central?
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Joe looked like he was moving about the pitch. Even the one goal we scored from the corner, where the corner was on the right and he was there doing 1-2s on the edge of the box.
I did notice that, and I was like, that's interesting. You know what I mean? Because it's not your usual left back play. I mean, you want your left back bombing up and down, fucking setting crosses.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's something quite weird about the fact we've not offered him a contract yet, or we've not agreed a contract with him.
This is the last year.
It's the last year. We've signed everybody else up on long deals. We've got one left back. He's mid-20s. He's Scottish. Despite what everyone says, he's still one of our most consistent performers. We can improve on him, absolutely, but
he's always fit.
He's always fit, yeah. I'm finding this one pretty bizarre.
And he will pop up with a goal.
But even if you're gonna bring in a Tierney or a Robertson, as people are talking about, or somebody else, whatever, you should be bringing them in with a view to them challenging with Greg Taylor, not replace him and get him out the door. You know, that's the sort of player you want to be keeping around.
What is there talk? Andy Robertson?
I don't know, it's only like one of these daft stories. Apparently, he wants to come back up his contract there, a bit like Tierney sort of thing. You know what I mean? But
many times we heard those fucking stories.
Yeah, but I mean, even if we signed what we consider the first choice left back this summer, you still want Taylor like you've got Ralston and Johnson on the other side. You want two strong players in there that can cover each other.
But maybe they've offered him a pittance because he'll not be on a great wage.
Yeah, I can't remember whether they offered him one or they've not offered him one yet. I'll have to check.
Aye, but maybe he's saying to himself, well, I'm not fucking signing that. It's going to be my last big contract. I've done well here. I could fucking get into the championship or whatever. Double, treble my wages. Because what's he going to be on? You're signing him for a Scottish team. He'll be lucky if he's on 10 grand a week, won't he?
He's got to say play on 9 or something, right?
Yeah, he's well established now, isn't he? He's well established to be getting decent money with us.
Aye.
And he could, you're right, he could go to the championship and make himself a fucking bomb.
Aye.
And he could, he's good enough to play there.
Well, definitely. Definitely. I mean, his CV will sell him anyway. There'd be a ton of teams would take him. You know? So, aye, at the end of the day, it would all come down to money. Because regardless whether he's going to be playing second fiddle to a first left back, if you gave him a bumper deal, he'll sign it. In my head, anyway. But if you're offering him kind of the same as what he's on the now, for what you signed him for another Scottish team, which you wouldn't be, you'd be maybe trebling his wages for what he was getting at Kilmarnock or that. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that would be what, $2,000 a week or something. So you'd be signing him on 6. You'd maybe have given him an improved deal to 8 or something. So you'll probably only be on something like that. I'm saying only, right? For a normal person, it's fucking still quality money. But at his stage of his career.
So just looking here, Jason. So in November 21, we gave him a new deal.
Right.
Right, so he's obviously signed. What would he be on Kilmarnock? $2,000 a week or something?
Something like that.
$2,000, yeah. So we've signed him probably double that at least, and then give him a new deal. So I reckon, like you said, maybe 10 grand a week or something he's probably on. You wonder what he's maybe looking for, but
aye. At the end of the day, he's playing every game. You know, he's very rarely let us down. And he'll be looking at other players in the team and saying, well, I deserve 15, 16.
Yeah.
You know, and you can't really argue with that. Because he has been a great player for us. You know, regardless of what the masses say, and a lot of folk don't like him, I think he's been really good. It was just unfortunate he was replacing Kieran Tierney, who was fucking outstanding for us. You know, it took him a wee bit to settle in. And when he did the inverted fullback stuff, it kind of, you know, I thought it was pretty good. Then obviously changing back when Rodgers came, more as a fullback. But I like the kid. I think he's a good player. I still want an upgrade, but knowing Celtic, they'll be offering him probably the same as what he's on. And he's probably saying to himself, well, I'll hang back. I wouldn't believe him.
It's a strange one. So we'll have to see what happens.
Fucking typical Celtic.
Yeah. What's the name of the young left back we've got? That he was on loan last year. I forget his name now. Anderson, was it? He's meant to be quite highly rated as well. So, mate, I don't know whether they're trying to maybe create space for him next season or something. I don't know, but it's a bit odd. You'd rather sign him up, and then if he's not, you know, if you're going to replace him, sell him on at some point and get your money back that way.
Yeah.
Right, a couple of questions I want to ask with a couple of players, right? One, Palma, right? What are we thinking about Palma? I mean, if Kuhn's going to step up, like he looks like he's going to, and you've got Maeda there, who you're never dropping, and then I mean, did Palma look any different in the preseason than he did last season? The way you look at Kuhn, you go, different player, right? Did Palma look in any way different? Because I do have fears that he'll just kind of plateau and peter out.
I don't know. I remember when he first came in, he looked brilliant. You know, he had a spell of about 3-4 games that he was fucking outstanding. Mind folk were getting carried away saying he's better than Jota and stuff like that. Which fucking miles it. And then he was injured a bit and the bit part player. So he's not really had a run of games as such. I think he's got plenty of ability. You know, he can score a goal. I think he's a decent player, and we are running the team. I'm pretty hopeful. Did he not come out and say, was there no transfer speculation that he could have been moving? He came out and said he's more than happy at Celtic. Did I dream that? Did that happen in the summer?
I don't remember any speculation, but he certainly spoke about, you know, wanting to be better this season. He's got lots more to give still.
Yep.
He's loving it at Celtic. He wants to learn from the manager. He's said all the right things. He looks super enthusiastic when he's come on and when he's played. And is that sort of player, isn't he? That he seems to always score goals, even if he's not playing that well.
Aye, definitely. And he has got the Midas touch. You know, he's definitely got a good bit of ability in the plates of meat.
Yeah.
You know, he can beat a guy. He can shoot. He can play a through ball. He's not got great pace, but I definitely think there's a player there.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? The wings, because you know we probably all would have said in the summer. I'm sure Brendan Rodgers said, Jason, when we went to that Q&A, that he wanted another winger. But then you've got Maeda, you've got Kuhn, you've got Forrest, you've got Palmer, you've got Yang, you've got Johnson. So gonna have to let a couple go if we end up bringing somebody in. But Palmer seems to be the third or fourth in that list alongside Forrest, isn't it?
Aye. Well, you would think Forrest has kind of elevated himself.
Yeah.
You know, he may be a starter. You know,
yeah.
But you've not got 90 minutes of him. You need somebody else. Yang, to me, would be the one I just don't think anything's going to happen there. That would be the one for me I would cut ties with if possible.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think I agree with what Joe said at the start of the show. Forrest looked electric when he came on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not just his usual, but he was just so sharp and some incredible skills, man.
Yep.
He looked at not a different play, just looked at the top of it, completely at the top of his game.
And he must have took some confidence for the end of last season. And obviously, not getting a minute for Scotland in the Euros, he's got the bit between his teeth. He's like, but it seems a kind of settled kind of character that's never kind of going to rock the boat and always going to give his best. But he's probably took confidence for basically the fan reaction to him towards the end of the season and about the massive part that he played and winning as the league towards the end of the season. And he's probably got a new lease of life saying, you know what, I can make a go at this year and I could be playing a pivotal role this year. And I think he could. He keeps himself up. And aye. But it's I mean, you're not getting 90 minutes of him, so he's not like the guy you can hang your hat on that way. But he can definitely fucking really affect your chance to win the league this year. He can play.
You know what, Jason? See, to be honest, right? See this modern football now, right? See if you're a midfielder or an attacking player, probably with the exception of Callum McGregor, you don't really need to play 90 minutes anymore.
No.
And we don't, do we? We probably replace 4 of the front 6 every game.
Yeah, 60 minutes.
Yeah. So, I mean, Kyogo rarely plays 90 minutes. Rarely.
He'll be playing it. He'll be playing it Sunday.
Yeah, he will. I mean, I'd love to see the stat. I think I've dug some stats on that out before.
I think he only completed with 2 or 3 90 minutes.
Yeah, it wasn't many, was it, at all?
No.
So I think having Forrest like that is fine because you've got plenty of impact players that you can bring on and cover that last half an hour with him. But I'd maybe like to see Young go and play somewhere in our league, though, for somebody if we were going to loan him out.
Aye.
See what he can do, because I always find it a bit weird sending them into random places. You want to see what they're capable of doing, where they're going to play moving forward.
Aye, send them to an Aberdeen or a Kilmarnock or a Hibs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because even Quan stood out when he went to St Mirren. He was kind of, they were talking really well about him. So that's where you want to see him get a chance and see what they're about.
Aye, no, definitely. But as you say, at our winger kind of position, like you've got Maeda's nailed down. So then it's Forrest or Kuhn. But Palma's there as well, and you've still got Yang. So the way it stands at the minute, if they're still there, there's no danger you need to play 90 minutes if you're a winger. And we need two strikers, and hopefully Ida's one of them, and we got another striker in. But for that perspective, midfield, you're only really talking, you've only got Bernardo as backup for the three, and that's no good enough. We definitely need somebody in the midfield. Your full-back position, so you've got Ralston to cover for Johnston, which I'm kind of all right with that. But a left-back, definitely cover there. And we need, whether Navrocki is ever going to be fit, who knows? Definitely need a centre-back, and you're needing a left-back. So you're needing a midfielder, central midfielder, left-back, centre-back, and a forward.
Yeah, we definitely need a centre-back, Jack. Maybe even two, because Navrocki's just not cutting it. Bialka, who looks good every time he comes on, but Rodgers clearly doesn't fancy him. And Welsh can never play more than 90 minutes at a time either. So I would say we're one or two in the centre-half position.
Aye.
Well, what about Bosun Lowell then? Or Lowell, whatever it is?
Well, he's come on in midfield, Joe. He's looked pretty good when he's come on and played. And obviously he's got the physique that makes him stand out straight away. For people, he's tidy on the ball. But remember when we signed Chris Ayer, and he was playing central midfield when he came to Celtic, and Celtic sent him to Kilmarnock on the basis that Kilmarnock would play him as a centre half for the season. And that's what started his development into being a centre half for us. But I don't know whether that's that's what he wants to do, or that's what Celtic want from him, or they see him as a defensive midfielder or not. I don't know, but he's certainly a big boy, and he can play with the ball.
Did he not get Player of the Year, Fleetwood?
Yeah,
he did get Player of the Year, didn't he?
Yeah, they were down the bottom of the league, I think, but he did pretty well there. So I think he'll go out on loan again this season, to be honest.
I mean, what age is he?
He is 21.
21, I think.
Still plenty of scope there. Plenty of scope there. But I don't know much about him. I've seen him in the TV and a couple of friendlies and stuff, and he's looked all right, but you're playing nobody. And
he came on against Morton in the Cup, and I think he was on the bench for St Johnson game. Yeah. That's about the size of it. Right?
I've got to say, the young players that we had took out to America, and I'm normally up to speed with this. I didn't recognise half of them, the names, but I thought they were all pretty good when they played.
Aye.
The young right back, I'd never even heard of him before. He was good both games.
What was his name?
He gave the penalty away, but I don't remember what his name was now.
It's Anderson.
I'd never seen him before, or even heard of him.
Let me see.
According to Rodgers, he's got to wait till he's 21.
Well, that's the other thing. I saw
Matthew Anderson.
And no, he's the left back.
Donovan, guy in the chat.
Oh, Colby Donovan. Okay.
Yeah, Donovan. Anderson's the one I was on about earlier.
I'm on a chat with a few Everton fans up here, and he's one of the boys' nephews.
Right. Okay.
He did look good.
It's good to see the boy Mark Dwayne Turley as well playing.
Yeah, Turley, that's the boy Marty mentioned to us, and he come on and scored in the game against Queen's Park as soon as he came on. And he come on, he looked pretty good. I tell you who's been really impressive, Home. Really impressed me all pre-season.
Aye, it's looked all right.
But confident, he's got more pace.
that's your other midfield backup with Bernardo.
Yeah, he's got to be in the frame, isn't he? In that order, I suppose. So I suppose you got Iwata, Home, and Bernardo as the backup to the three midfielders. I'm not sure we'll sign another one yet, Jason, unless we lose one.
Well, see, this is it, and this is the kind of position. It must be awkward. It must be awkward for the football club, right? That you don't know if you're going to lose Matt O'Reilly.
Yeah.
And you can't, like, say to players, we want to sign you, but only if we sell him. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it kind of holds everything up, doesn't it? Like, because you can't. There's a lot of there's a lot of things, a lot of maneuvers you can't make based on the fact that you don't know what's happening already.
Because there's three that's been mentioned, isn't it? The American guy, is it Venezia?
I think so.
There's an American guy, and then there's a guy in MLS that's meant to be pretty good as well.
Yeah.
Seen them mentioned, but who knows? But sometimes Celtic, sometimes you hear stuff in the media, and then Celtic just sign somebody for left field that you've never heard of. I'm all right with that, to be honest with you, if they can keep their cards close to their chest, etc. But it's kind of the unknown with Matt O'Reilly, and like I was a bit in the close season, I was a bit like, we're going to lose him. That's it. It's done and dusted. But you seen him in the pre-season friendlies, you're like, oh fucking please stay, man.
Just come up here. Sorry, Liverpool. There's a link between Celtic and Liverpool's own left back. Somebody mentioned it there just in the chat, and just looked it up. It's up on Celtic News now, saying that apparently, man, the Hugo Bueno thing was out there. Liverpool were trying to get him Wolves, but apparently it looks like it's dead. And according to the internet, they're looking at this Owen back lad. Anybody heard of him before?
Nope.
Oh. Who's that, Joe? So just popped out. I missed that.
Who'd you play with?
Owen back. Just Liverpool. All right, let's have a look. Let's have a look at Owen back here.
Wait,
I just seen somebody mentioned in the chat. Let's go up already. Celtic still interested in Owen back. Celtic would want him on a loan, but Liverpool would prefer to sell. This is according to all the shit on the internet. How many appearances he made for Liverpool? 1.
Owen Beck, you want about?
Owen back, yeah, left back.
Yeah, the left back. Was it Dundee?
Yes.
He was pretty good, Dundee.
That's right. And now I remember him.
Yeah, it's quite a weird one. Remember back in January, Liverpool recalled him. We were talking about signing him in January. Liverpool bought him back from Dundee on loan, off the loan, and put him on for like 2 minutes in a game at the end of January, which meant that he couldn't then play for another club last season. And he went back to Dundee for the second half, I think. Owen Beck, yeah, there's a lot to talk about him.
Okay, so there's some new news. Maggie Johnson. What do we think is about Maggie Johnson?
Sell ASAP.
That's it. You're done. No hope.
I just don't want to see him as a Celtic player. And the boy has got ability, but no for me. And I feel bad because he is a good player, but I just don't think he fits the Celtic shirt. Yeah. And that might be a daft thing to say because surely anybody can. But he's had loads and loads of chances, and I just think his stock will be pretty high in an English Championship term, and they'll pay like 4 or 5 million for him. I mean, obviously, he won Player of the Month with West Brom. You know, he was banging the goals in down there, scored a few.
P. McLaughlin said Mickey's going to score 20 this season.
Aye, too far.
It is. It's. I'm with you, Jason. I think we've seen this film, and we need to fucking change the channel. And it's a fucking shame because he is a great player, but it just appears like it's never going to happen.
But Joe, see if you watch the friendlies, you know it's so much of the basics that he does wrong. Do you know what I mean? And the same thing. See the amount of times he gets through clean on goal or out wide and under hits the pass which is just a really simple pass to somebody.
Was it the DC United game? We should have scored about 5.
That's what I'm saying. That's what
Right.
I said earlier on. That fucking, if he just does the simplest things, do you know what I mean? It's like you think you do that. You've trained every day for the last 15 years of your life, right? Passing a ball 6 yards or 8 yards or 10 yards, it's not difficult.
Aye.
It's that basic stuff. I don't know whether he's just trying too hard, or it's a mental thing because he's not done well with us. But for his own benefit, go somewhere else, and I think he could flourish and do well somewhere. But never with us in a million years, man.
Well, I mean, if West Brom going to West Brom has proved anything to him, is like he can be a superstar in another place.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Well, I suppose that's maybe the reason why they haven't sold him, because we haven't got either over the line or another striker, and so maybe there has been some, because he is the only other striker that we've got.
Well, surely Maeda would be there before him up front.
I don't think so.
Well,
do you think they play Maeda? Maeda would be starting the game, right? So by the time it comes to you're taking Kyogo off, you're not going to be shifting Maeda in to play centre forward.
You're kidding? He could play fucking 2 games every.
I know.
No danger. If you remember last summer,
play 2 positions. Just take Kyogo off and just
exactly.
Maeda. You cover both positions, mate.
See if you remember the last pre-season, Maeda started up front for the first 2 or 3 games. I think maybe even more than that. Under Rodgers, when we played, I think we played in Japan, didn't we? A couple of games. So he would surely be the number 2 striker if you had to look at it that way. But like you said, he will start. He will start the games as well. So,
but with Maeda as a striker, you lose it, and his ability down the wing and fucking
do
apart. So
at least you've got 3 or 4 decent wingers that can fill in for him. You can't be playing Mikey Johnson in any proper game up front, man.
But as we talk about fucking guys missing fucking 5 chances, you put Maeda up front, he'll fucking trump that.
But I mean, but again, if know this, Maeda brings so much more other than
unbelievable.
He does.
Just his presence, I think, is a main fuck for other players.
Aye.
Everybody knows that. They're going like, oh, fuck, this guy's an assassin.
I know.
I'm sure there's plenty. I'm sure fucking James Tavernier will be fucking sad as fucking if he manages to escape from fucking the Huns, he would be sad to see the back of him.
Imagine Tavernier get a move to somebody and then we sell Maeda to their rivals.
I said before, he's the Asian bad guy coming for you.
Just fucking hang up the boots. Say I've had enough troops.
Do you know what I was? I don't know what I was doing Saturday. I wasn't very well last week. Come back from holiday, and I watched a bit of their game with Union Berlin. And Union Berlin's, I think it was their second goal. Some boys ran. Like, see the way Maeda got that goal at Ibrox in the first 20 seconds, where he ran past Tavernier and terrified him. Some boy with no pace at all ran about 30 yards, and Tavernier was like a fucking one of these guys that had won a raffle to be actually playing the game. Fucking going backwards as this guy was going forwards, man. See if you get a chance to see the highlights. It's unbelievable. He looks completely fucked for them in the little bits that I've seen. I think he's been injured, but he's looking a fucking pale shadow, man. So pray.
You gotta think a guy like him is just checked out, no?
Yeah, but pray. That's what I'm saying, Joe. Pray that he's there on the 1st of September, man.
Well, we know TikTok isn't going to be there. He said he wants it. Do you know what? As much as I can't stand that lad, I am impressed by the fucking brass neck on the cunt.
But he's typical with that like English mentality that come to Scotland and they think I'm going to fucking run the show up there public. Yeah. You know, that's he's your typical little Englander that's came to Scotland and thinks to himself, fucking hell, I'll win Rangers League myself. This fucking league's hopeless. Then he's got up here and just got absolutely fucking ragdoll left, right, and centre at every fucking turn.
I think it's just the mentality of all of them. I mean, Tav put out a highlight reel of last season on his Instagram. And you're like, what the fuck would you be doing that for? And Campbell's the same. Kim Roof put a fucking thing on his one. You know that when he had that disallowed goal.
I remember that, a picture of himself.
Yeah, and he puts it up on his Instagram, a goal that didn't even stand. And you're like, you just perennial losers, man, across the whole bunch of them.
And some of their fans, I've not listened to many of their phone-ins, but I listened to a few, and they're like, they'll be lucky to get third or fourth. You know?
They're broken, honestly.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's finally, the penny has finally fucking dropped.
It was after that Man United friendly. And Man United had their second string out and fucking absolutely fucking destroyed them.
Oh no, the Birmingham one was worse.
Aye, that's right. They're in the
Third tier now.
first division and third tier in England.
Yeah.
What was the score in that game?
2-1.
2-1. It was 2-0 half time though.
That's right. They were booed or friendly.
Booed off at half time in a friendly.
Okay, well, Jamo's out in Indiana, 100-degree heat. Oh, fucking champion! Oh, it is. They're booing or friendly in Birmingham.
That's the funny bit, Joe. As they're getting pumped even more each game, where they're scalping Man City and scalping Chelsea at the same time. So it's
Pre-season cup is ours. The pre-season cup is ours, boys. Fucking come on.
First time ever. Right.
I mean, see the thing is, pre-season friendlies, right? You do it, it's a pinch of salt, right? Because that's Chelsea, that's their first game. You know, we played Ayr United, our first game, we were useless, but with half a team, and against Queen's Park, with kind of half a team as well. So fair enough, but you do get it that it is their first game, right? So you don't get kind of carried away, but still.
Second game for them. Second, they played Wrexham before us.
They did. They drew 2 each with Wrexham, didn't they?
Yeah.
And
your point stands though. It's early for
aye, it's like, and I'm not getting absolutely carried away, but it was good to see, and it was fun, you know. And it was like the team looks as if they're enjoying themselves. They look as if they're, you know, in a good state, right? Obviously, with the lack of sight, 2 goalkeepers, right? And by the way, you don't underestimate the 2 goalkeepers, because I think that's a class move for Celtic.
Big
you know, getting Kasper Schmeichel in, and he's great with his ball with the ball at the feet.
Yep.
And he's definitely got a presence about him, and he's no frightened to speak his mind as well. You know, he loves winding English up, and like, you know, some of the clips he comes out with are absolutely brilliant. But I think he'll be a class act for us. And the young lad as well, hopefully he gets a good few appearances as well, you know, maybe play him in the League Cup or whatever.
Definitely.
But that's obviously the understudy, and to hopefully take the gloves over when Kasper moves on. So that's excellent for Celtic, what they've done there. But the rest, I just hope and pray that they have got players lined up for the positions we mentioned, you know, and they have got people coming in. But you know how transfers go. These get into the... See, at the end of the day, you're not just going to chuck money away. You're not just going to chuck a couple of £1 million away to keep fans happy, when you know the likelihood is you'll get the guy the day or 2 days before the transfer window. Because when I don't know, but what date is our first Champions League game going to be?
It'll be second week in September, usually, isn't it? Around
the second week in September, right? So we don't need any more players in the now to get off to a cracking start in the league.
So right. 7th of September is international. That's the Saturday. So we play the Huns on the 1st of September. But there's no way we play that next midweek, because the draw doesn't get done till the 31st. It must be after the international break. It must be about the 14th, 17th, something like
that. They're on the chat. Somebody said the 17th, 18th. Somebody else said 27th of September. But run about then. So you've got another month of the transfer window, right? So you're going up to the end of August. You know the amount of transfers that do get done near the deadline day when clubs are, you know, and it's going to be a bit of a pisser if it takes us to get Adam Ida. It's going to be up until then. But if that's what it is, and the club saves £5 million or whatever through getting players in towards the end of, you know, the window, I suppose you need to do it. You know, if you're the money guy.
I don't think we're trying to save. I know everyone says this. I don't think we're trying to save money by delaying the players that we're buying. I don't think that's true personally, right? But then you look at the Bernardo one, which I think is really interesting, because allegedly we had a fee agreed for him, 5-6 million or whatever. He did okay. He did pretty well, you know, contributed to that cup-winning goal at the end. And, we've had the success with Jota before him as well, but we've actually gone back and negotiated the fee down to like 3.5 million, which is quite unusual. Because if you're in Benfica's shoes, you'd be like, well, no, this is a fee you agreed. He's done well. You want to keep him. That's the price you're going to pay. But we've managed to go and negotiate that down and then still get him through the door. It's quite an interesting one.
Aye, and there's a 30% sell-on clause.
Yes, what we maybe done is increase the sell-on, and
so it's at the end of the day, Benfica might make over it in the long run.
Exactly. We're probably less confident with him than we were with Jota, for example.
Well, that's it.
So we've made the fee match the kind of the confidence levels we've got, which is just makes sound business sense, I guess, in that regard. But it's quite an unusual one. Whereas with Ida, we're paying the price big time from not having that fee agreed as at least as a minimum that we knew we could have gotten for, because there's all sorts of figures getting bandied around now between 8 and 12 million for him in terms of what they're looking for.
The thing is, as well, you've got to agree the terms of what the player wants as well.
Yeah, and look, you'd have thought if you bring someone in on loan and you know what they're earning, you'd have some informal conversations while they're there to kind of sound out what their salary expectations might be. But I don't know what Ida would be on playing the Championship, because I think did he not come through the ranks with Norwich? They didn't buy him, did they? I don't think.
I don't know. See this, like, I don't know if the story is that he is fucking basically sitting there, he's trying to force a move, but what does that achieve?
Right. Like, I mean, it's a dangerous game to play if
Norwich just say, "No, unless Celtic going to pay us this much money, we're going fucking nowhere." But I mean, and then if Celtic go, "We're not paying that."
The rumor is, Joe, that they've changed the price twice in terms of what we've asked for. So we've tried to buy him and they've put the price up twice. Whether that's true or not, no idea. It's just hearsay. But so from Ida's perspective, let's say Norwich are asking for 10 million. Let's just make a figure up, right? He's probably saying, well, you're not paying me a 10 million. I'm not getting paid as a 10 million pound player. You don't rate me as a 10 million pound player. You're being unreasonable in terms of what you're asking for. Now, I had this argument on here last year and everyone disagreed with me about Starfelt. For me, I couldn't believe we let Starfelt go for around about the same price we paid for him. An international centre-half, perfect partner for Vickers. But just because his missus had gone, he wanted to move, he wanted to go and play in Spain, we appeared to let him go at a knockdown fee. So everyone was just saying, well, if you've got a player that's not happy, he wants to go, you've got to let him go.
Yeah, it says here he moved from College Corinthians in Cork straight to Norwich to play in Professional Development League.
Yeah, but the Starfelt one, he totally dissed that about his girlfriend, because he was quicker in a flight for Scotland getting to where she was playing than he would be for where he was in Vigo, in Galicia and Spain, to get to where she was.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So that was a red herring, but you've got a guy that's wanting to go, and I think probably they maybe were scared with the Lennon stuff with Eduardo and Edward, and keeping guys that it doesn't breed for good.
No, it doesn't in general terms, Jason. But I thought Figo were the first team to show a proper interest in him from memory. They're a La Liga team. He'd come to us and improved as a player, and had played in the Champions League. He'd won trophies. Surely then that makes him more valuable player, and we should be expecting more money from him.
But Celta Vigo don't pay big, for defenders, they don't really pay big money. But I get your point. But
yeah,
I don't know.
I'm using that to kind of counter for Joe, to say if Ida kicks up enough fuss, then he probably thinks, well, they're going to have to let me go because I'm just going to unsettle the squad at Norwich.
Aye. I know, but at the end of the day, he wasn't even getting a game with them. Yeah. And the thing is, it's not as if there's a bidding war. It's not as if there's 4 other teams looking for him. So Norwich will just be saying, well, what are we going to get from him? But they're obviously going to try the best for their club. We're going to try the best for us. Yeah. And then we'll see. But the strangest thing for me about the Ida thing was get them in loan without a view to buying them.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly that.
That was a strange thing right for the kickoff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very un-Celtic-like as well, given if you think it with Jota, Carter Vickers, Bernardo,
Yeah.
maybe others I've forgotten about. So it's but maybe we left it. Maybe it really was the last day of the transfer window type thing, and we just got to see.
And let's face it, see when we got him, there wasn't one Celtic supporter looking forward to him coming. He just surpassed all our expectations.
Yeah.
It was very uninspiring. Everybody was like, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" I mean, let's see what he's got, and then cut to fucking.
I know.
Cup final day, and like it's fucking unbelievable.
The other interesting thing about Ida and about the forwards is, like, Ida's a good player, right? We've talked about this before. He's proven himself. He's big, athletic. He's got a decent touch, skill, pace. But he's not a world beater. He's not a world beater of a player, right? He's clearly a second level to Kyogo in terms of overall game. But listen to what Rodgers has said recently, the last few days, and what he said. Do you remember, Jason, we talked about Rocco Vata before? He definitely seems like he's stuck on Kyogo's his number one. Someone else is coming in as his number two, and he wants a young player. He's almost dismissed the notion we're going to go and replace Kyogo or get someone equal to or above Kyogo ability-wise to try and push him, which is interesting.
Well, I think Ida would be that guy to push Kyogo, but see, to be honest with you, Kyogo's different class.
Yeah.
You know, I've not got any qualms of him being our number one.
Yeah. No, me too. I didn't know whether that's where we might try and really push the boat out and go, right, get a better striker in potentially. But Kyogo's maybe is the limit of what we can get.
Well, the way I see it as Ida is in the Giakoumakis mould.
Yeah.
And it's a totally different, it's a contrasting style up front. And you've then got two options, whereas Ida would start games, depending on who you're playing. Kyogo will start other games, and then they'll switch and swap. The one will come off 60 minutes, the other one will come on. But you've got a totally different, because let's face it, whatever one of them's playing, the team then is operating in a different fashion.
Yeah.
And that's a bit of a head fuck for the opposition, because they're set up to play against a certain team coming at them with their defence, and then you bring Ida on and they're fucking all over the place because totally different. He's like a big battering ram.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting how they fill that third. Let's say we do bring Ida in, which I do definitely think we will. It's going to be interesting how they fill that third slot for a striker.
But the thing with the third spot is the reason it's got to be a young guy is it's got to be somebody that you're bringing in to develop.
Yeah.
You're not bringing somebody in as a third striker saying, right, we want you, you're going to can do it for us, then he's not going to look in. Because let's face it, they're not going to get many opportunities when you've got two strikers if they're fully fit. You're depending on an injury.
You think back to what Scott always talks about bringing that kind of veteran type striker in, do you know what I mean? That's kind of been there with it all and someone for a season.
I would have loved that, I would have loved that.
Yeah. At the end of the day, we do only play one up front and the opportunities are limited, but it only takes one injury to Kyogo and then you're on the bench and you're coming on almost every game, aren't you? So, for me, we, especially being the Champions League, we can absolutely carry 3 good strikers this season.
Aye, but if you're like, say you're a guy that's playing a bit part role with a top team in Europe, you're not going to come to Celtic to be a third choice striker, whereas you're a third choice striker with your team you're playing with now. Yep.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe it's either that young, really, really young prospect or someone that's kind of been there and done it all. Do you know what I mean? It's right at the end of the career that is maybe a bit happier coming and being that. I don't know, but that's why I'm saying it's interesting how they're going to fill that last slot.
But they fucking had Rocco Vata and they fucking let him go.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Offer him a fucking couple of grand more than you offered him, he would have stayed. And they weren't interested. So, obviously we'll wait and see. But, aye.
He scored, did he not score up against Hibs in a game for Watford?
Did he?
I think so, yeah. I think I saw that somewhere.
I think he'll do well, but we'll wait and see. That's all. If you think John McGinn was fucking bad, wait till if he turns out to be a fucking world beater. And they let him go because they wouldn't give him an extra fucking £1.50 a week. whatever it was. But aye, so interesting stuff. But I tell you what, I've never been as calm getting into a season. And obviously it's got a lot to do with fucking name being an absolute shambles. But I don't think I've ever been as calm getting into a season and confident that I just think we'll wipe the floor with everybody. What about you?
Same, exactly the same, mate. That's what I'm saying. You know, when I said at the start how excited I am for this season, but I'm really, really calm. I'm normally getting a bit more agitated about the transfers, and you know, there is enough justification for people feeling that way. But I do just believe that we're trying to get the right players just now. But the way the team have played at the end of last season, the start of this season, I'm super, super confident for them.
And really, see, this is anybody that knows me knows I'm not a bored apologist by fucking any stretch of the imagination. But if we were to keep Matt O'Reilly, right, and we've got a fully fit first team that we're starting the season with, I think we would do well in the Champions League with the team that we've got now. Because we played well last year without getting the results, apart from Atletico Madrid away. But the rest of the games, we put decent performances in. We had our chances. We didn't take them. Granted, it was a fucking easy league. But in the terms of the leagues that we've had in previous years. But I think if we went into the team, and this is Brendan Rodgers' second year, the players are used to him now, it's his way of working. I would fancy us to potentially get out of the group.
Yeah, so
you know,
I agree. Well, I'm going to tell you now what I said about Joe Hart when we were talking about replacing him right now. I love Joe Hart. This is not a criticism of him, but Kasper Schmeichel is going to get us. He's going to be responsible for us getting a win and a draw away from home this season. It's going to give us that extra bit.
There you go, Nostradamus.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah,
in that somewhere.
There you go.
That's what. But that. Yeah, when we talked, remember we talked about it at the time, and we talked about Fraser Forster and whatever. And we're saying, you know, Hart's a brilliant goalkeeper, but you need that someone that can, and by themselves, just fucking drag that game out for you and get you that little victory somewhere. And I think old Kasper's got to do it for us.
Aye, but it's the thing is, it's taking your chances, and we did score a few this year. You know, I know the Champions League was a fucking disaster again, as always, but there were better performances, and we were in loads of games, but it just didn't happen. The Feyenoord away, we really played well, and then fucking shot ourselves in the foot with the sendings off and everything. It was just a fucking disaster. But Rodgers was kind of just in the door, so to speak, like a month or something before. So, aye, but I think now, and somebody was explaining to me as well, see the way these groups work, so you'll know better than me, Liam, right? I don't fucking look into this, right? See the way the group works, right?
Yeah.
You don't play the same team at home that you play away.
Yeah. So basically, there's 36 teams in it this year.
2 teams for Group A, 2 for Group B, 2 for C, and 2 for D.
Yeah. This is why this format's far better for us than it is for the big teams, because last season we're Pot D, right? So we play a team from Pot A, a team from Pot B, and a team from Pot C. So we have 2 games against Pot A, 2 against Pot B, 2 against Pot C. This year we will play 2 teams from Pot 1, 2 from Pot 2, 2 from Pot 3, and 2 from Pot 4. So we're going to get our extra games are against teams in the same pot as us. So that's why it's much more of a benefit for us, because we're getting 2 games against teams we should be equal to in relative terms, whereas Madrid in the top pot, they're getting 2 extra games against 2 Pot 1 teams rather than.
So is there 9 teams in each league?
There's 9 in each pot. Yeah.
Right. So we've got 2. So we're in Pot D. So we've got 2 others from Pot D.
Exactly. Yeah. And see, when you look at the pots, right, and you say we're going to have 4 games against 2 teams from Pot 3 and 4. So when you look at the names, there's some good ones in there, but there's plenty of teams in there we can get a result against. Honestly.
Aye.
On paper, obviously it's different when we get there, but it's a massive benefit to us. and to the lower teams in terms of you playing more games against teams in the same level as you.
Yeah.
That's the key thing for me.
And like, say you've got a Real Madrid in pot one, you're only playing them once.
Yeah.
You don't play them twice.
And it could be home as well, you know. So I'm assuming you get one home game against pot one and one away. I'm assuming it's as balanced as that. I haven't looked at that much, but yeah. So you haven't got to play the same teams. It's 8 different teams to play. I mean, that's exciting in itself as well, really. You know, you haven't got that too much familiarity there, and I think it's going to be. I think it's a really good opportunity for us. And we talked about the last 2 seasons having really favourable draws for us at that level and not making the most of them. But you know, we need to finish 24th out of 36 teams to get to a playoff, which would give us 10 games in the Champions League this season minimum. This season, yeah. So it's a great opportunity for us.
Aye, definitely. Ellie's making tea here, so
How long does that group stage last for then?
So January's the extra games now, or games. I'm not sure if we get 1 or 2 in January, but so it does run over a little bit, Joe. So yeah, there's a bit of extra games in there, but what an opportunity! Do you know what I mean?
So are the chances of progressing marginally better, or are they significantly better? Do you think?
Well, somewhere probably in between that, Joe. So I mean, you know, we've got a chance. We've got 2 extra games where we've got a much better chance of getting some points out of them games than we would have, you know, in the old format. But it's hard to work out how the spread of points are going to go across 36 teams because it's just one league. You know, it's not 8 different leagues as it was before. All 36 teams are in the same league, right? And you play all your games, you get all your points, and then the top 8 qualify automatically for the last 16, and then from 9 to 24 go in a playoff for the other 8 spots in the last 16, and then 25 to 36 are out of Europe altogether. There's no drop off into Europa League or conference or anything else. You're out.
At any point in the competition?
Yeah, you're out. So if you're in the Champions League and you finish 25 or down, you're out of Europe.
Okay.
You haven't got this whole drop into the Europa like we had before.
aye, that's it. There's no dropping or getting up anywhere.
Yeah.
The only way you're basically, I think, if you win the Europa League or the equivalent of that, you're in the Champions League the next year. But there's no dropping down to Europa into conference, then Champions League into Europa League. That's all done away with. So listen, I looked at the chat there, and Scott says that we only play 1 team from our pot, so there's 9 in it. So does that? Well, here's a question then.
How does that work out then?
Does that go for everybody then? So if you're in pot 1, you only play 1 team for pot 1, but you'll play 2 for every other pot.
I thought we played 8 games, 2 from each pot.
Yeah, so there can't be 9 teams then. That doesn't work out. You only play 1 for your own pot. Need Scott to come back here with us, because that if you've got 9 games, that doesn't work out.
No, it's not 9 games, so I think.
Sorry, 8 games. If you've got 9 teams in a pot and you've got 8 games.
Yeah, you play 2 teams out of each pot, was my understanding.
Aye, so we must play 2 teams for our pot.
Scott, reveal yourself. What's going on? Tell us.
Aye, because that means we need to play 3 teams for a different pot.
Yeah, but that's just going to complicate it. Surely it's going to be simple as you play 2 from each pot. Everyone in the competition plays 2 from each of the pots.
Because that would work out, because you've got the same amount of people and same amount of teams in every pot. Yeah. So everybody's to play 8 games. So everybody would play 2 for their own pot.
Yeah.
Aye, so it would work out.
Yeah, it's not 9 in the pot and you play the other 8 from your pot. You split them 2 across each pot. That's my understanding anyway. So
no, it's 9 in your league with.
No, it's 1 league. It's 1 league with everybody in the same league.
All right. So right, how does it work? Right, you've got 4 leagues of 9. Right?
No. So Jason, there's a difference between pots and leagues, right?
It's 1 league.
Aye, I get that.
1 league, and pots are the seedings, right? So, and it's 1. Let's say if Celtic won all 8 games, we could finish top of the league of all 36 teams.
It says here each participant will play 2 teams from each pod.
There you go.
Yep.
1 at home and 1 away.
But you're in a pot, right? So that means within your pot, there must be 3 teams from that pot in your league.
Everyone's in the same. There's one league, Jason. There's 36 teams.
All right.
Split four pots of 9 teams across all 36. So the old
Right,
pot
okay.
1, pot 2, pot 3, pot 4. Yeah.
I get you, right. So you've got right, I get it now, right. So you've got 8 teams to play, right?
Yeah.
But you're all contributing to the one league, whereas
Yeah.
the other 9 teams that's in a like harem, they all. So tell me something then. So see the 8 teams that we play.
Yeah.
Do they all play the same 8 teams?
No, I don't think so.
Right. So this is where it gets complicated.
Yeah. I can't see how they can randomly do this, but no, I think you just get you draw 2 from each pot. Now, someone's obviously done the science behind this before they've launched it, but no, I don't think you all play the same. It wouldn't work, would it? I don't think.
Okay, I'm just reading it here. Now, I'm just talking about the knockout phase. So teams finishing 9th to 16th will be seeded in the playoff draw. They will face the teams placed 17th to 24th and will, in principle, get the second leg at home. In the last 16, the teams who automatically qualified will be seeded and will each face a playoff winner.
Yeah. So it's one league. So let's just say freakishly we won 8 games. We'd be top of that league, Jason, pretty much.
Scott's humble pie there. It was me that was correct, by the way, Scott, no Liam.
No, bollocks, it was me.
No, because I fucking couldn't work out. You had to play 2 for your own pot.
Okay, so knockout games. Knockout games will continue to be played over 2 legs, but for the first time, clubs will be able to plot their route to the final once the last 16 draw has been made. The draw from that point would resemble that of a tennis open, with the top 2 sides from the league phase unable to face one another until the final. Well, the fine details of how this will be accomplished are still in development. The final will remain the only game not played in midweek.
Yeah. If you finish first and Madrid are second, you can't play them to the final.
Right. So the way the draw works, like in pot 1, if we play Real Madrid, right? But say in pot 2 we've got a Benfica. Real Madrid might not play Benfica; they might play somebody else.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, aye,
exactly that.
Aye, so it's just everybody's playing random teams that's in different pots.
Yeah, exactly that, Jason.
Right. Yeah, it's just like a really short, quick league for a number of months, and then it's fucking.
That there again, fucking RL77 back to the Jot alone deal here.
Trying to keep us out of that area.
No, what's good about it is like it seems a lot more like. The league idea is great, right? But seeing it it's
definitely giving us a better chance.
Yeah. But then the knockout seems good because there's fucking playoffs in the knockout stage. You know what I mean? And the kind of that because like
here's it from again, jokes. I kind of missed that, but go and read the playoff.
So teams finishing 9th to 16th will be seeded in the playoff draw, meaning they will face the teams placed 17th to 24th and will in principle get the second leg at home. And the last 16 teams who are automatically qualified will be seeded and will each face a playoff winner. So there's like a playoff in the middle of the actual fucking competition, which is actually really good.
So does that mean if you finish 1st to 8th,
you're not automatically through to 16?
Oh fuck, we're in. We're fucking finishing 6th.
You're seeded for that. So the top 24. So if we finish 9th to 24th, then we'll play a minimum of 10 games in the Champions League next year.
It doesn't say. Hold on, is that? Oh yeah, well yeah, it's a 2-legged playoff.
Yeah, 2-legged. So, and if you finish in the top 8, or you win your playoff, then you're minimum 12 games.
Can you imagine? By the way, right? Rewind back to the old Matt Manil days, right? You think back then, right? See if we drew like the top seeds at home. Well, we say you play both, right? But say we had the majorly good teams in each pot at home, and we had the other ones away. Fucking hell, we could have been finishing 3rd or 4th.
Okay, Jason, we got 9 points under O'Neill, right? If you look at the 36 teams in the competition next year, and you look at the bottom pots, I reckon 9 points would get us into the playoffs next year. And we got that in 6 games with O'Neill's team, not 8.
Aye. Well, Gordon Strachan and fucking Neil Lennon, many points a day that is.
Yeah, but they got through to the last 16 where O'Neill's team didn't.
Aye.
To see we could recreate some of that home form. Do you know what I mean? And win our home games against pot 2, 3, and 4, and grab a draw and a win away, or a win away, whatever. I really think that would get you in the playoffs, or you'd be there or thereabout.
Totally.
And I suppose like getting to the playoffs would definitely be
Massive.
They could be huge, like, because I mean that one, you're continuing the competition, but 2, it's like a mini final type thing, right? Almost, which is fucking drama. Right? Another phenomenon at Celtic Park. You know, yeah, I think it's gonna be really interesting. And it does seem on paper like it does give smaller teams, teams that wouldn't normally,
which is really unusual.
A chance.
It's really unusual for UEFA to do that, to not favour the big teams and do it the other way around. So, and I guess that everything we've just said there probably then contradicts everything we've said about the transfer activity so far, because you'd think, fucking hell, what an opportunity! Why are we not going balls out here and trying to really give ourselves a chance? But maybe we will.
I don't know. I'm excited.
Aye, definitely. It's quite good. It's quite exciting. An exciting draw when the draw gets made.
Yeah. And I do think when is the fucking draw? Let's look at that. I do think on Sunday we're going to absolutely fucking embarrass Kilmarnock.
I would like to think so. And another point as well, Dynamo Kiev, who the Dirty Dozen have got, they won 9-2 in aggregate that game. My wee mate Paul, you met Mick and Paul, come up to loads of games, Evertonians. So Paul, he's a big Dynamo Kiev fan. He's got mates. He's been going out to the Ukraine long before the war and all that was on. He's been out to like 3rd division games and everything. His mates are getting him tickets for Hampden against that lot. He's coming up for the game. He loves Kiev. He's been going to Kiev for years, loves it. And so he's going to come up to that game. So they'll probably absolutely thump that mob.
What you mean, I've been a big fan the last 3 weeks? I didn't realise it had been that long. He's been a big fan.
What's that, mate?
I thought you said he'd been a big fan the last few weeks. I didn't realise it had been that long. He's liked him.
No. I think Everton played. I don't know if it was Metalist Kharkiv. No, that wouldn't have been. Everton played a team in. It wasn't Dynamo Kiev, but they played somebody years ago, and he ended up getting he was drinking a boozer and ended up getting pally with a few folk there. So how many misses have been for, this was before that war started, how many misses have been there for weekends and everything? He loves Kiev, and he would go to like 3rd division games out, because there's quite a few teams for there, and he would go to a few games, and he just loves them. So he's got a few mates that are Dynamo Kiev fans, and they're going to get him tickets. He's going to go to the game at Hampden. Here's I heard a wee snippet, right? See, Motherwell still have not been given any information about their ticket allocation at Hampden.
I think they only got their information yesterday, was it? Yesterday, maybe?
What, their own season ticket holders?
Yeah. They're still not up for sale, and the season ticket holders still haven't been told where they're sitting yet.
Aye, they've not told Motherwell anything. Where they're sitting, how many tickets they're getting. No issued them.
What a fucking shit show.
It's not this weekend, it's next weekend.
Yeah. I suppose Ibrox is quite a different configuration to Hampden, Jason. Would it be quite different setup?
Oh, totally. It's 4 separate stands. Well, it's actually 6 separate stands.
Yeah.
So you've got your well, if you're looking at actually, it's 2 tiers in each of them. So you would actually think, so your Copeland Road's 2, your Govern's 2, your Broomland's 2. So there's 6 there. And then you've got the east and west enclosure. There's 8. You've got the main stand 9, and you've got the club deck 10. So there's 10 separate sections. And Hampden has got fucking basically A main stand,
Who?
a top bit in the main stand, then just a big round bit. So Hampden's got 3 sections.
That's what I'm saying. Imagine if you've got a premium type seat in Ibrox and then you get stuck behind the goal at Hampden. Fucking hell, you're not going to be happy with that, are you?
And the way they've worked it out is, imagine there's fucking 4 of you and you take 3 kids.
Yeah.
They put fucking one of them in the fucking south upper.
But you know what our ticket office is like? Fucking hell, what hope have they got then?
Oh my god! Aye.
Imagine live next to Ibrox and you had a season ticket. Now you got to go to fucking Hampden.
But see the thing, Joe. See the thing. We played at Hampden a season, right? But we sold season tickets for Hampden. Do you know what I mean? So we all bought season tickets to go to Hampden. So I was in the Celtic end near the main stand, kind of up the back. So me and all my mates all sat together. And at that time, you weren't selling it out. It wasn't like Hampden was sold out with Celtic supporters, right? But you were actually buying a season ticket for Hampden. So when that came in, you knew the seat you were in, that's the seat you bought for that season. But they've bought season tickets for Ibrox. So,
yeah. They sold it out before they announced that the fucking stadium was fucked.
right.
Yeah.
Mental. But no, the Champions League. That's. Do you know that? Do you know the one thing? But we were right. So I vowed I was kind of cutting back in the European aways, right? So me and Sean, Jerry, and all that, been talking. So we're going to just do one, right? 1 out of the 4. Well, that's the plan. Now probably 2 or whatever. If you get an English team, then you can get 3. But 1 now, right? But see, when you're looking at them, I've got see bucket list what stadiums to go to in Europe. I've been to them all apart from Napoli and Marseille, and I've never seen Celtic play in Greece. So I would maybe Athens would be all right.
Yeah.
But Napoli and Marseille are in it. So you're looking and there's nothing really jumps out. You know, if we drew, I mean, the last couple of years we've done Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid, whereas I love Madrid, but I wouldn't be mad and get back there.
No.
Barcelona wouldn't interest me.
No.
So, you know, there's obviously Germany's fucking the business for an away trip, right? But there's nothing really jumping out. What about yourselves? See, looking at the teams, is there any?
Joe, dig up the teams in it just now while we're having this conversation. I can't remember. Joe, so I'm going to Portugal. I'm going to Lisbon at the end of September, so that's going to knock me back a bit really for games this season.
Mick was there with the kids, and he was speaking to the groundsman. He says, "See the local government." He says they don't have the finances to kind of knock it down. And
I know. I'm not worried. Yeah, I've been there as well. Been a couple of times before, but
you're going for that stag, isn't it?
Well, no, it's just a 50th thing from last year.
50.
Yeah.
I knew it was like a special kind of thing.
Doing that, so that's going to push me back for the first couple of games at least, I think. But
I'm looking at here, but I'm looking at the ones that are in the league phase. Villa.
Yeah, that'd be handy. Who's in pot 4? Joe, did it tell you?
They haven't got pads. They just got teams here.
I thought they had him. I thought it was already.
I'm on the UEFA. I'm on the UEFA set. It just has me to ever teams. Let me just see format. I'm trying to find whether. Okay, that's not it.
I had them somewhere. Somebody had sent me them all.
Yeah, I'm just interested who's in pot 4, because we're going to get 2 of them at least.
Trying to find it here.
Germany would always be tempted by.
Yeah, fucking you would have it on their site, yeah. They fucking.
Who's in from Greece? Jason Olympiakos.
I can't even mind. Champions League. I'll Google it now. Apologies to the listeners. Joe, sing a wee song.
I'm just fucking looking for the thing. This keeps bringing me to the format explainer, but it doesn't show me any pads. Oh, confirm teams and pads. There we go.
Champions League pots 24-25. Right, come on.
Part 1, part 2, part 3. Here we go. Got
Who's
it.
pot 4? Right.
Part 4 is for fuck's sake.
So here, I can just read all the teams out, right? So here's in England, you've got Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, and Villa.
Yeah.
Spain, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Girona, and Atletico Madrid. Girona, would I go there? Maybe, I don't know.
Where is Girona? Is that Barcelona?
Aye, it's just next to it. That's the airport. See, Ryanair
Yeah.
fly in when they go to Barcelona.
Right. That'd
Fly
be
in
more
Girona
interesting.
Airport,
Yeah.
right next to Barcelona. Wouldn't want to go there, but it could be the coldest game ever. Remember? Fucking, we're in the pub outside the White Sox Stadium, and Joe, Paul the Tim's mates, fucking. I'm sure it was Joe. He says, "Fucking coldest game I've ever been here." I says, "What were you wearing?" "Ah, well, shorts and t-shirt." I says, "Well, fucking, if you'd a warm J-coat, it wouldn't have been anywhere near the coldest game you ever."
Exactly.
Jerry was back. I'm up. Aye, it was freezing. I was there.
I was there. It's cold.
We got Monaco,
Yeah.
Aston Villa, Bologna, Girona, Stuttgart, Sturm Graz, Brest, and then with the asterisk section was Galatasaray and Sparta Prague.
Aye,
Clubs United
never mind the dots, right? So countries, I've got them here. So that's your Spain. So Germany, you've got Leverkusen, Stuttgart, Bayern Munich, and Leipzig.
We've done all them.
I've done the 4 of them.
Yeah, I've done 3 of the 4.
You know, I've done 3. I've been to all the English grounds. I've been to 3 of the Spain ones, apart from Girona. I've been to the 4 Germany ones. Italy, Inter Milan, Juve, and Atalanta. Atalanta, maybe. Done the other 2. France, Paris Saint-Germain, Monaco, and Brest. Monaco, maybe. Brest, I don't even know where that is. In France. Fucking the French police are fucking bastards. Netherlands, PSV Eindhoven and Feyenoord. Been to Feyenoord. I've not been to PSV, but I don't know if I'd be bothered. Portugal at the minute, Sporting. Been to Lisbon load of times. Belgium, Club Brugge. I've never been there. Been to Anderlecht 2 or 3 times. Twice. 2 or... Austria, Sturm Graz. No been there. That might be a shout. Then you've got Bologna and Dortmund. That's European performance spots. Then you've got Champions League winner rebalancing, Shakhtar Donetsk. But they wouldn't. And then you've got Benfica, obviously, and I've been there. They're the ones that they've gave you.
So why is this not finalised then? What's still to happen?
Well, qualifiers.
Oh, of course, yeah, of course. Fucking hell. Of course.
So you're still waiting on the qualifiers coming through. So there's no Greek teams in it now at all.
No. Nothing standing out there.
Been to Istanbul. Don't know if I loved that enough. That was a good trip.
Yeah, that was good.
But I don't know. It's
Where's Atalanta in Italy, Joyce?
right. It's near Milan, but it's near. Right. That's where Ryanair actually. That's Bergamo. See where Ryanair fly.
Oh yeah. Okay.
My mates, Atalanta fan, comes up to watch Celtic. They're left. Their fans are all bang on.
The league phase draw is 29th of August. So that's when we'll know.
Yeah, flying holiday.
Happy days.
And you know what game I'm missing, don't you? Fucking Dirty Dozen.
That's right. You fucked that, didn't you?
Yeah, fucking booked ages ago, gone to the Basque Country. And see when the league fixtures came out, the only one weekend I'm missing games, it was week 4. And we played them week 4, I think, the last couple of years. So Sean's like, "You're definitely missing that." I was fucking praying it was a different weekend, but so I miss it. So I'm going to Athletic Club versus Atletico Madrid. That's that weekend. But
where will you be, Jason? In Bilbao for that?
I've been Bilbao for 10 days, then we go to Locaitio up the coast, and then we either go to, I don't know if our final night we're going to go to Hondarribia on the border between the Basque and the French Basque country, or San Sebastian or Saint Jean de Luz in France and the French Basque country, or Biarritz where we're flying home to. But our flight's kind of at 5 o'clock at night, so we can kind of stay anywhere. So we've got 13 nights booked.
But do you know where you'll be for the day of the game, though?
I'll be in Bilbao.
Do you know yet where you'll be for the day? Bilbao,
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
good,
I'll
that's
be
perfect.
in Bilbao. So we'll be Bar Negresco with
Right,
Tony and the troops.
brilliant, perfect.
So that's all sorted. As long as the athletic club game's not at the same time.
Oh, fuck.
I know. Do you know
They
what?
play
I would go to San Mamés and watch the game and just fucking have it on my phone. I wouldn't duke the athletic club game just to watch it on the telly.
Do they play often on a Sunday morning at home?
Nah, very rarely. And plus, it's against Atletico Madrid, so it'll be prime time TV. So I don't think there's much chance
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought so.
at the same time. No. So we're there from the Thursday right through to the Sunday, the following Sunday. So it's good because this is Linda was 50 when we were in Chicago, but we worked to have a holiday. And obviously, me and Linda are on ourselves now. The kids are older, but Rory's coming with his girlfriend to Bilbao for 3 nights, and then Ellie's now going to come for 3 or 4 nights as well, but a different 3 or 4 nights. Obviously, Toff watched, so aye. So we're all going to be there at some point. So I'm looking forward to it.
It is.
Aye, so the Champions League's no really the format and the games at Celtic Park are getting my loins going, but as for away trips, nah, I'm not like see just you've been gone for years and years, and that's what Seamus was saying, seeing the way back in Chicago. He was saying he's thinking about wrapping them. And I know a load of folks the same. After that Rome trip, a lot of them didn't get in. And you're just treated like absolute shit. And when you go to watch Celtic in Spain, France, Italy, you get treated like absolute dogs.
Yeah, totally.
And you're like, is it worth it? And do you know what? Sometimes you actually think to yourself, see you and a squad of your mates, because the Cheltenham Festival and all that, everybody now goes to fucking Benidorm and Lanzarote and things. You know, instead of going to Cheltenham, the squads of guys just fly out there, sit in the sun, bet the horses and whatever. And I'm thinking to yourself, if you're going to be doing something like that, fucking get a squaddies and go to Lanzarote for 2 or 3 nights.
Yeah, Scott said that before. Go to San Sponza and just watch the game there. I think that's a good idea.
I know. No hassle at all. Just sitting there, cheap pints, just fucking enjoying yourself. But
Sounds like a plan. Sounds like a plan.
Because they don't like Germany's different. Germany's brilliant. Let's face it. See if we get Leipzig again, Joe. We're getting the Berlin Hovel back in the goal.
Ah, the Stasi hut.
UB40, playing
The reggae den.
fucking kebabs and weed.
Get it back on, man. Let's get it back on.
Get it back. Oh, back to the Stasi hut.
That was incredible one.
That was brilliant, man. Brilliant.
Just what you need. I wouldn't rush back to Spain at all, man. At all.
Nah, treat it like absolute shit. Unless athletic club.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%.
If a team to the Basque Country get in, it would be unbelievable. You know, if we drew athletic club in Europe or L'Oreal as well, it's unlikely that Alaves or Osasuna or whatever are going to qualify anytime soon. But if we got athletic club or L'Oreal, it would be unbelievable. You know, what a time you would have. You'd be welcome with open arms. The place would just be absolutely jumping, and you'd be treated like a lord, you know.
Yeah. Still fresh in the memory, Jason, from last time, the last trip.
That's a dream.
And the thing is, as well, the following season, we might not be in the Champions League for a few years, even if we keep winning the league.
Exactly. But here's the thing, right? You would know better than me. Say we do qualify this year, right? And then we win a knockout game. Would that then get us in next year?
No. So just whatever points we accrue this year counts towards 2 seasons' time.
I thought that.
Next season's points set in stone. So even if we win the league and win 38 games out of 38, we still We're still going to play 2 or 3 rounds of qualifiers. I think it's not even just
They
one.
could win the Champions League, then you get in.
That's wow. That's all that's left for us. But
Munich, here we come.
Yeah.
be absolutely perfect, wouldn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
Is that us wrapped for 2 hours now?
2 hours.
3 hours. I need to go to my pit.
That'll do us to start off, I think.
Aye. And then we
What-
get the rest,
what-
we get the rest of the troops back.
What we thinking about Sunday then? What's the
Predictions?
predictions?
I'd say we're going to hammer. I'd say we'll put at least 4 past them. Easy.
I would really be confident.
3 or 4-1 for me as well.
If the team that played Chelsea for a start, if they play with that kind of zip, nobody's stopping them.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a fucking tough day at the office, right?
Aye.
What's the weather for the weekend?
It's been fucking amazing the day. Well, the night it was stunning, but it's starting to rain tomorrow. Still 20 odd degrees, but then it's to get gradually shit. So
It's been like that here lately. Because the past few days have been unreal, but it all just turns fucking horrible very quickly.
aye.
Just checking age out. It says it'll be cold and wet in Club Celtic, which is perfect. So
Sunday cloudy with a low of 12 and a high of 19, no rain. So
plenty of crack in Club Celtic. Hopefully, that's
no the worst.
Happy days. The gang all back together. Oh well.
The gang back together.
Superb, gentlemen. Superb.
There we go.
That was good fun. Enjoyed that.
Yes.
So we're looking at high flying. A lot of goals at the weekend. The boys are going to be out in the tour.
I'll do a 6-0.
Back to
By
6.
the way, we never covered the Gaelic. I just seen the chat there. D Boyle, Armaka, but we never covered the Gaelic and the bold PJ
Ardawa.
is not on. So I know we kind of slagged the Gaelic the last time. That was only a wind up because PJ was posting on the thing. But I tell you one thing, what a couple of weeks. So Joe, are you want to duke after now, or do you want to do 10 minutes?
No, do 10 more minutes. Do 10 more minutes in the car. I mean, fucking the problem I have with the football is, see, they should probably have the football first and have the hurling second, because you sit down to watch the football, and after having watched the week before watch the hurling, you're like, it's all very slow, isn't it? I mean, because the hurling's fucking 100 men an hour, like, and the hurling's phenomenal. But the football was good. Like, 2 very, very tense games. I mean, like the end of that Armagh game, fucking Galway at the post. It's like,
oh, unbelievable! And
then Armagh cooking, and then they had the 2. I was like, oh yeah, bastard. I mean, it was kind of going, fuck this. And that's what's great about the guy, is that, like, when it gets to those tense moments, it could go any way. It's kind of like basketball in that respect, and that, like, even when it gets down to the kind of tense moments, if it's close, it could be anybody's game. You know.
Aye, and it can change in a fucking heartbeat.
Aye. Like, one team gets a goal, fucking that just changes the game. Right?
But it's not just that. It's like they score points. You can score like fucking 3 points in about fucking 3 or 4 minutes.
Aye, and if you've got someone who can fucking hit points from far out, you're doing well. Because I mean, that was the biggest thing that Galway, the problem Galway had at the weekend, was they couldn't get through the Armagh defense. They couldn't pick it apart. There was times they did. But when it mattered, kind of towards the end of the second half, some of their shooting was they were just pushed wide. It was brilliant to watch. Now, brilliant, amazing. And I told you before, like, your man who's the president of the GAA, Jarlath Burns. When I was a kid, we moved from Falls Road up to Andytown. He bought my man and dad's house. So he did. He was at teacher training college in Belfast. He was playing for Armagh at the time, and his son was playing actually on Sunday as well.
Aye. So it's funny. The only 2 times Armagh's won the Gaelic. First one, I was in the Michael Collins pub in Barcelona with my mate for Lurgan. And then the second one, I was in fucking Chicago, sitting my booze up. And the guy, they had, that was the one I sent you that video for. That fucking every TV show and fucking every sport, like fucking USA against Serbia at basketball, 3-day event. And there was all sorts going on, baseball. This is at 10:30 in the morning, and I've said to the guy, look, can you get the Gaelic final? And he's like, where is it? I says, check RTE, blah blah, he's got it there. He says, hang on a minute. And the guy was sitting there with a computer doing all sorts, and he wasn't getting it. and there was so I was checking on my phone, and there was about half an hour to go. Next Edge come up and tapped me on the shoulder. He says, "There you go," but it didn't have the commentary, so that was a bit shit. But he stuck that on, and Seamus and Linda are like, "What the fuck you want to watch now?" I'm like, "The Gaelic final." And so he got it on. Fucking hell, man. You see at the end, it was tense as fuck. Because you thought they'd have won. See, about 5 minutes to go. You're like, and oh my God. I was delighted for all my mates. So fucking hell, man. Brock McVeigh, good mate, lives in the Bronx. Member of the Bronx Boys. Brock was all set for coming to Notre Dame, and he sacked it and flew back for it. So he was. I don't know if he got a ticket. I'll need to speak to him. But oh man, I was delighted for them. Just fucking only the second time they've ever won it, and the fucking parties.
Did you see Lurgan Police Station covered in flags? And then the cops going around the roundabout and all. That's an investigation into that.
Aye,
the fucking golf.
Just tell me something. Was that the police that put the flags there?
I don't think the police put the flags there, but there was. This wasn't in Lurgan. This was somewhere else in Armagh. There was that video of the cop car going around the roundabout with the flag out, the Armagh flag out, and there's fucking been absolute murder about it. Like,
so I take it in Lurgan Cross, they were all climbing up that fucking barbed wire hang at the hangman, putting tricolours up the polo stage. Fucking, and I've been there, I don't know how many times. The place is fucking mental.
But here's the thing about the fucking like prods and loyalists and the fucking GAA. They watch it too. It's fucking sport. I mean, they watch it as well. You know? It's only the bigots that think it's some sort of sectarian fucking, fucking. I don't know what they think it is. Some sort of sectarian bait. As soon as you start liking Guy, next thing you're fucking, loading an AK-47 and hitting the streets. You know what I mean? What the fuck? Like, it's just that's a bizarre belief. Like, it's the same with the Irish language. They think the Irish language is going to fucking destroy their communities. You're going like,
the only county in the north probably that didn't want to win it was Tyrone. There was a guy for Tyrone on our bus gone down to South Bend. So I said to him, "The Mora, who you support?" He's like, "Fucking Galway."
The referee was from Tyrone.
Was he?
The referee was from Tyrone. Right?
Fucking hell, because they hate each other.
I sat there watching it, the referee from Tyrone, and I was like, "Ooh, this could get ugly."
I don't think Glenn would have been too happy, Liam.
No, I was thinking that. Oh, well.
No, it is brilliant to watch. Like, brilliant to watch.
And then fucking one of the best fucking sporting things, honest to God, one of the best sporting things I've ever watched in my life. And fucking got it, Marty Flynn's on here to fucking talk about it. But that hurling final, I was sick at the end of it because I'd bet Clare to win by 0 to 3 points, and fucking the foul the guy gave away at the end for Cork to get the point to take it to fucking extra time, fucking done me to 60 quid. But PJ and my mate Peter and that were all there for it. His sister Geordie and Peter's wife Angela, and it just that sport is just, that hurling is just fucking incredible.
Yeah, I mean, and that game specifically was fucking outstanding. I mean, it was just.
And see, because it was live in BBC, see when you're looking at all the comments, the English folk and Scottish folk and that never ever watched it before, but obviously just tuned into it. The comments were unreal. These guys are amateurs.
See the one Joe Bradley put up. He says, some guy from Herefordshire was watching it for the first time. I'm not a bit surprised that they have 2 doctors at the end of each goal.
Oh my God. But I tell you what, see the skill and the fitness of the guys. See the bit that gets me. See the bit running at speed and picking the ball off the ground. That's the bit that gets me. I get when they're running with the ball in their hand and they're tapping it with a hurl, right? But see the bit when the ball's on the ground and they flip it up and they grab it, or when the ball's chucked to them and they just put their hand out and just grab it and it's just right in their hand and they're away with it. And see that game, it's like you're never safe because Cork went off like a train and you're like, I'm saying to myself, this game's over. Do you know what I mean? Because they went like fucking 4, 5, 6 points in front straight away. And I'm like, fucking hell. And then the next thing, Clare got a fucking rally and they start going for it. And just fucking but it's the distance away for the goal where you can still get a point. You know, see the guys that are right good.
Yeah.
You know, they're fucking miles away from it and they can still get a point for there. So if they're not closed down like in the middle of the park, they can fucking get a point easy enough, the guys that are fucking shit hot. But just the ability to fucking throw that up and you're fucking running at a time and swing that hurl and just fucking leather it or they
See when you see the guys, like, I mean, when I played hurling, I was fucking shit at it, right? But see when you see see when you see the way they get the ball off the ground, see when you see the really skilled guys who can just step over a ball, flick their hurl, and it's fucking just jumps into their fucking hand. That amazes the fuck out of me, like.
Aye.
Because one, what kind of fucking like wrist and arm strength you need to do to generate that kind of fucking power, right?
But you know yourself, when you're running, if you're running and you try and bend down to pick something up, you're fucking tumbling your wonkies into fucking rose bush, you know. Do you know what I mean? It's wild. These guys are fucking super athletes. They've obviously been playing it for they were kids. Do you know what I mean? It's just ingrained into them how to play the game. But some of them, the ability, some of them is just unbelievable. No, even to be facing the goal, and they just turn and they just hit it with the back. You know, because obviously they're hitting it forward, but they'll hit it back the way as well, just to get it fucking unbelievable.
I know, and that's one thing that marvel at their athleticism. Did you see the video Marty sent about the boy who's fucking on the hurling team? He won the All Ireland. Just finished 2 PhDs, I believe. He's like, aye, and then the masters too. And you go, fuck me. Man, this cunt's fucking fit. He's fucking talented. He's athletic. He's smart as fuck. We're all sitting there going, here, turn it off. Make me feel bad with myself. You know what I mean? But that's again, like a lot of these guys would be like, you don't see any fucking balloons playing at that level. You know what I mean? Realistically, I'm sure someone you don't see fucking nah.
Aye, it's the same as any kind of sport nowadays. Kids nowadays, you need to be ultra fit and you need to be dedicated to your sport. If you're not that, you're not going to make it.
Yeah, nah, that's good. It's good.
See with these guys, surely, like, I know the Dublin with the GAA, they players get sponsored or you know, it's an amateur sport, but surely these guys are now like fucking bus drivers and stuff like that.
I kind of asked this question because like fucking my cousin's
maybe nothing against bus drivers or whatever. I'm just talking about a normal job.
No, I know what you mean, but I think it's more. I think the way that it kind of works is because my cousin's son plays for Antrim, right? And I was kind of chatting about it. So like, I suppose that playing at that level and being that good comes with a certain prestige in terms of like the guy and the network and the people you're connected to, and it's generally a lot of fucking fairly, well-off people. So a lot of these guys have been given good jobs, right?
Aye.
But in those good jobs, they're not going to really be expected to do as much as everybody else. Right?
I would think they would be looked after in other ways, sort of thing, because they need to put that much effort into their craft to play that. You can't be fucking working 70 hours a week in your weekly job. Do you know what I mean? Make ends meet.
Yeah, well, I think that's how it works. And it's basically like you won't necessarily get paid. You won't get paid by anybody, but you will have a comfortable life to make it easier for you to excel at your athletic skills.
Aye,
I mean,
that was what I was wondering. But absolutely phenomenal. What a couple of weeks it was for the GAA. It was amazing.
Yeah. It's I was never mad on a GAA growing up because there's a certain kind of like devotion you kind of have to it to be that involved. You know what I mean? To be followed around. Like it is. I take it very, very seriously, and it is like a very cultural thing.
I will see my mates for Lurgan. They wouldn't go to like Crow Park to the All Ireland or whatever because they're like, I would feel a bit of a fraud because there's guys in this town full of Armagh everywhere and go to all the games, the start of the season games and all that. And he says you'd feel like a dick, take a ticket and go into that. Whereas the guys that follow them everywhere deserve it,
Aye. That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, as much as I'd love to go to the final, you wouldn't be fucking going hunting down. Maybe can we get tickets? Maybe I was asking, can we get tickets to the final? I was like, no, I can't. I was like, it's very. I wouldn't chase it. If somebody offered me a ticket, I'd love to go, but it's not something I'd ever be chasing.
I think the old PJ's a man for tickets. He produced a fair few, I'll tell you.
He's got a vast network though of people. So
what's the crack with the tickets? Is it through all the different clubs or is
clubs?
it a big sale
Through the
or
clubs.
whatever? Or
Usually through clubs.
Did you know see the video, Liam? The old guy in the draw.
Oh fuck!
Oh, I did. Yeah, I did.
Hey, okay, shameless.
Fucking video it as well.
What I mean is, would all the tickets go to all the? Would the tickets go across all the clubs, or would there be a big batch set aside for whoever's getting to the final and stuff?
I think Marty explained it. I think the teams that get to the final will have a certain proportion.
They must have, surely, yeah.
But every other club will get a proportion as well. And that's how Marty always goes on about, because Lurgan, like Antrim is the only hurling team.
Yeah, I remember him saying that bit, yeah.
So basically, that Marty basically always really gets sorted for Crow Park because they'll swap their football tickets.
Exactly, yeah.
For hurling tickets. And no other county in the north, apart from Antrim's really mental in the hurling.
Yeah, I remember him saying that.
Tell me something, Joe, right? You'd probably be the wrong person to ask you.
Probably.
Is there any county out there that wins both on a regular basis?
I don't know. You know what? I have no idea. Well, that's the other Google machine.
Because I don't think there is. Because you're either one or the other. Because they've all got both teams, but they're kind of rubbish at one and brilliant at the other.
I can't really find it. I actually don't know. I always would have thought Cork would have done both well.
Do you know what? That's the one that came to my head because I thought they kind of played the Gaelic football as well. D Boyle's just thinking that Cork were the last team to do it. Aye. There you go.
There you go. Because I always remember Monshano were helping play for Cork. Big, was he fucking from Fijian descent? His mother was Fijian. He was serious.
And do you know the bit as well that got me? I just thought, see, because of recent times, for watching it in recent times, like Dublin win the football nearly every year, right? Obviously, they didn't this year, right? But for most years, it's Dublin all the time. So I just thought Dublin had won the football more than anybody, but it's Kerry.
Well, Dublin went through a really bad period for a long time. And then they fucking came roaring back.
I think the reason RD says Galway do both codes very good as well. But I think Dublin, the reason lately how they've dominated is because the amount of players and they've got organised and all the kind of youth development and teams coming through. Obviously, the size of Dublin now as well with the population as well. So they've obviously got far more players to pick from than every other county.
And like in terms of, I suppose, funding, like Dublin's got 3 county councils.
Aye.
I mean, it's got South Dublin County Council, Dublin City County Council, and Fingal County Council. I mean, so like
the Ghost Council. The Ghost Council.
The Ghost County. The Ghost County. People always say that. The Ghost County.
Fingal.
But that's to say, but it's saying like Dublin's that big that it does need that level of supposedly administration when it comes to like fucking facilities and fucking county councils and taking care of all that stuff. I mean, so but it does mean then there's a lot more separate investments. I mean, you're not having one county council, upkeep all of the pitches or support all of the clubs. You've got 3 separate county councils doing that, which then would obviously lead you to think there'd be more money involved. I mean,
see when you're driving from Belfast to Donegal, right, and we'd stop off for a fucking sandwich or something, or we'd toffee ways, take toffee for a walk, and you begin through like Dungiven or whatever. See, like the Gaelic parks are about there, they are fucking pristine. You know, see when you're in a nationalist neighbourhood, right, and you stop off and fucking there's a Gaelic party, you take a wee look in, the amount of kids playing it and how fucking beautiful the surfaces are they're playing on, and the changing facilities and all that, it's fucking brilliant, you know. It's fair play to Ireland how they've actually done this, you know, like, I mean, soccer or football to us is definitely a fucking third-class sport.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Dungiven specifically, you mentioned that's where Joe Brawley's from.
Aye.
That's who he played for.
Aye. But going through there, I couldn't believe, see the Gaelic facilities they have there, unbelievable. And then when you get to Donegal, and Downings is a wee fucking tourist place, but see the football pitches and that they've got there for the Gaelic football and everything, you fucking see them all playing. Everywhere you go, like in the Free State, when you're driving about, fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
It's very rare. You don't see that many kids out playing football.
No, and I can see those rural towns up around like Derry and the border, like just like Balahi and that there. You know what I mean? Like they're very proud of what they have. I mean, if you ever go to Balahi, they have the Seamus Ennis Centre there. Like, I know that's not Gab, but he was a local lad. I want to see the fucking place. It's unbelievable. And again, they've got an amazing fucking GAA pitches as well. You know what I mean? They're very proud of it.
But the one thing I would say was, especially that hurling final, obviously I loved the football final with Armagh winning, but that hurling final, that kind of went worldwide and everybody was just fucking jaw-dropping, like, saying, this is fucking unbelievable, you know? And Marty's gave us a wee education, PG and all, like, on this podcast about it, but it was fucking jaw-dropping, man. I was fucking at the edge of my seat, fucking, like, it was incredible, and I kind of, obviously, I wanted Clare to win for PJ, but you were fucking gutted for Cork as well, because none of them deserved to lose it. You know, they could have went to a fucking replay, and it probably deserved to go to a replay. You know, because the two of them were fucking warriors, man. It was unbelievable. It's amazing how many points are scored, but how tight it gets at the end.
Aye,
you know, it just shows you how they must bottle it. I mean, see that guy fouling the Cork guy at the end, you know, see if he just didn't foul him, the guy wasn't going to score, you know, but just fucking the nerves.
Yeah, it was fucking great. It was great.
And then at the end of the Armagh game, when the guy hit it wide, you know, the chance.
Oh, fuck.
Aye.
But that's a saying, like, but Armagh played them well, and that they just forced them into errors. You know what I mean?
Aye, unbelievable. Aye, so we can wrap it up now, mate.
Wrap it up, T-Folk. We'll be back next week, folks, after what I hope will be a sizable win on Sunday, and hopefully we'll have the other Muppets back. Yeah.
Jobo, see you Sunday. Come get a pint with you.
See you Sunday.
Hail, folks. Take it easy.
Cheers. Bye.
Cheers, Trips. Hail.